Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, 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 bitch, nigga, bang, 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 bang.
You talking choppers, you getting right. You wanna blow with the dope every night.
Said he wanted subscribe, so he took him on life.
Say you wanna get paid, you wanna be right.
Keep team 4K got slapped
Walking
through
out,
pipe.
still got on these shades, even though it ain't night. Cause they little pink pills too hard. Let's go on a SRT with a Draco tank. Got a little boy way, can't sleep at night.
You gotta go get that motherfucking dope. You gotta run, say fuck all that hoe. I was just broken, I didn't have a friend, so I went in the trap and I sold me some dope.
Let's
for
go.
real.
Poppin' purse, make her suck dick for an hour, get to work. I told the bitch to get nasty for double. She bought her best friend, they for each other. Okay for me, make her fuck my brother. Got a team full of players, free band, no struggle.
Big 4K down to the door.
Might get in there more, go dig with a shovel. Break out the chopstick, hit on wherever. Broad daylight, bitch, I'ma get on wherever. Let's go, double O walk on this bitch, but I like to talk on this bitch.
Hold on.
Purpose said walk on this bitch, the purpose said talk on this bitch.
Hold on.
I just be geeking out drugs, taking all kinds of shit. Bitch want a full shit, fine. He see all kind of bitch.
Running through this, I don't care about shit. The world one time, though. Rich little man got shot, you slide, little bro, you a bitch. 15 ball, one plate on me. 15
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? What's happening? MD's Thought Box Live. We back for a second straight week. Unprecedented. What's going on? What's going on? Hey, I got a full house tonight. Vancat, what's happening? Mike, what's happening?
What's going on, MD? That's an awesome trailer there.
Yeah,
Yo,
it's all, yeah.
that beat
I
hard
put
as
that
hell.
together.
That beat hard as hell. That Mob Deep, that thing fire, boy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So we back with another one tonight. We got a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of shit that happened. Y'all already know. Tonight's episode, the truth about the Trump disappearance. And I'm going to ask a poignant question to all of y'all. Will these people receive reparations for what's going on with them as it stands right now? But we're going to get into that later. First and foremost, last week's episode, we talked about what was going on Liberation Day. Did everybody enjoy their Liberation Day last week?
Hell no.
Okay, all right, cool.
I
I
feel
was
the
just
liberty.
wondering.
I was waiting for some more freedom.
I was just wondering. So it done all fell apart in the span of 1 week. So we're going to give an update on what's going on with Liberation Day. As you saw yesterday, they're saying Trump folded. I got mixed opinions about that, as well as several other people. I'm going to get y'all thoughts on it. We're going to watch a couple quick clips. And yeah, we're going to try to break this down and see exactly what's going on with the stock market. Mike is up here. He the stock market guy. So he'll be able to give us a little bit of detail. So, I'm gonna try to break that down with him, and we'll be back on the other side. Let's see what's going on though.
It is not a possibility, Carl.
Oh shit, what happened?
Spoke to Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, on the phone just a short time ago, and she tells me it is quote unquote fake news that the White House is considering a 90-day pause. So the White House.
Now let's stop right there. We're gonna stop right there. So Tuesday, that morning, the stocks open. They was dropping as usual. All of a sudden, it's a rumor going around that Scott Bessent told some guy, and Kevin Hassett was talking, and they said, "Hey, look, it's a 90-day pause for to about to go down." All of a sudden, stocks start trickling back up. People start buying again. It went into the green for a brief moment. Caroline Leavitt come out immediately, say, "Hey, that ain't going on. That's fake news. That's fake." Now that was Tuesday. Now let's continue on.
Pouring cold water on this idea, wherever it came from, that they're considering a 90-day pause on tariffs, saying that the president is committed to his tariff regime, and any reports that he's considering a 90-day pause are, quote, fake news. That from the White House press secretary on the record just a short time ago to me on the cell phone here as we try to sort through where this came from and why it is that the market became convinced that might be a possibility. The White House saying it is not a possibility, Carl.
Not a possibility. That's what they told us on Tuesday. The stocks dropped right back down. Mike, you the resident stock guy, tell me what happened on Tuesday. I need to know what's going on.
As I tell my people all the time, the stock market doesn't move because money moves. It moves because people think money's moving. It's all about rumors. It's all about who knows what. So the people, and this is my honest belief, I think Trump is playing with the market to make money for him and his friends, because most people don't know how to make puts and lets. They don't know how to make money when the market is crashing. I think this whole thing was a test to see if he could control the market like he did, and he did. The market dropped precipitously when the tariffs were spoken about, when the tariffs were coming about, when the tariffs were talked about. We're gonna get every country. We're gonna make a tariff war, and then they leaked a little bit of news. Hey, we're thinking about this, and they watched as the market started creeping back up, and then they crashed it again because they can. And in the words of Dave Chappelle, you know why they did it? In the
Why's
first
that?
episode, of Chappelle Show, because F you, that's why. That's why, because they can. They're making money up and down while America is being destroyed. That's the there's no other reason for this, because everyone knows tariffs are a tax. Everyone knows this, and Republicans historically hate taxes. So you can't explain that to me. But yeah, the market just moved because of rumors. They're just playing their game, and they're showing how much they have. They have the whole world on a string. Because if the American market moves, the world market moves. And
Hold on, let me stop you right there, though, Mike. Because,
go
like you
ahead.
said, profound insight coming from me. But
Thank you.
was it rumor or was it premature ejaculation?
I don't think
That,
they're mutually exclusive.
okay,
I
all
think
right.
just like how you see how they were playing Ring Around the Rosie, where they were trying to blame the who let the guy in the war talk in the WhatsApp, the war WhatsApp group. They were just like, oh, it wasn't me. I heard so and so was doing it. Oh, it wasn't me. That's all it is. It's a bunch of people who don't communicate well, trying to tell who gets to leak it this week. Are you going to leak it? Are you going to leak it? The leak wasn't supposed to happen until later in the week. Somebody let it go early, and that's how the news got out. And
Mm,
they decided, you know what? This could be a test. Let's see what happens. And they saw how it went up. So then they retracted it and they made it so Trump could be the one to say it, because it didn't
damn.
happen until Trump said it. When Trump says it, now you can take it to the bank because Trump said it. And now watch as the market goes back up and who gets the credit. This is all a game. It's all a game.
DJT.
Yes, sir.
Van Cat, you got anything on that?
No, I don't. I mean, Mike expertly laid it out right there. I can't even follow that.
All right. So with that being said, with Mike's profound vision of what happened, let's look at the following day, which was yesterday.
That effective immediately, the tariffs on China moved from 104%. Larry, I think he's trying to make you happy, up to 125%. So let's talk about that. Do we have the
Yes.
other? Okay, we got another one too. I'm just going to keep giving them to you.
Yeah, here's the whole.
And Dagan, I'm going to turn over to you.
No, you go, because there's even bigger news.
He's authorized a 90-day pause on tariffs that applies to reciprocal and the 10% tariff, a 90-day pause effective immediately. Look at the straight shoot up line.
Look at that. Look at that. As soon as he announced it, not even a video announcement, he announced it on Truth Social. And I'm talking about a straight line up. Straight line. Like this is insanity.
I guarantee you he made $1 billion off of just that straight line.
Off everybody else, 401k and IRA. That's a damn shame.
Yes,
So that's insider trading, isn't it?
Hey, we about to get into that, Venkat.
What did I tell you, Venkat, when the election happened? You remember what I told you?
What?
It's not guilty if you control the judges.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It ain't
So-
guilty till the judge hits the gavel and says guilty. It ain't guilty.
So you hit the nail right on the head, Venkat. You asked a poignant question. That's insider trading, correct? Now, supposedly what's being said is, oh, Trump blinked. That's what a lot of the establishment DMs initially said. I don't look at it that way. I just don't. You could say he blinked from the aspect of what was happening with the bond market and the treasury. I understand that. I believe wholeheartedly that on Tuesday, somebody, whether it was Kevin Hassett, whether it was Scott Bessent, spilt the beans to somebody they wasn't supposed to spill to. And the dude that they spilt them beans to said, oh, I'm about to tell this.
Mm-hmm.
And he told it. And the administration had to immediately come out and say, nah, man, we got to downplay it. It's Trump at the end of the day. We could just say it's fake news.
Yes, sir.
That's all we got to say.
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly what they did. Then Trump said, damn, this ain't when I wanted to do it, but now maybe I got to do it. Especially now that countries are selling off bonds. So I might not got a choice in the matter.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and pull the trigger now. Let everybody know what's about to happen so they can go ahead and buy low.
Exactly.
And he called all his billionaire friends and told them, hey, look, the jump off about to take place at such and such time. 90 minutes after he gave the announcement on True Social. Like the stock market worked fast. I do understand that part. But God, that's lightning fast. Lightning.
Yes, sir. That's why I tell everybody, black people, y'all need to get in the market, have your safe movements. You should have had, when he was talking about tariffs the first time, everybody should have had went to the biggest corporations they know and had a whole bunch of puts, just dropping puts. This gonna go down, this gonna go down, this gonna go down, that made all that money on the drop.
So I
But
mean, yeah,
black people don't know nothing
you're
about it.
absolutely right. But even with me giving not necessarily pushback, but a lower perspective, the way they moving and pushing paper, the average Joe Schmo can't do that. I can't call up Trump and say, hey, look, what I need to do, like what you got going, and he tell me what's going on, and I can do 6 million on such and such stock that's low in the dumps, and then when he makes the play, I double my money. We can't do that.
Oh, you 100% correct. I'm not telling us to do that. I'm saying black people have already been exposed as the least cared about. That election showed no one cares about us and no one is looking at us now. The only thing they're looking at us for is help to push their agendas. And black people have happily stood to the sidelines and said, we're not in this. I'm saying while we're on the sidelines, we should be taking our twos and fews and trying to follow Trump and make this money behind him. If Trump can make $1 billion and black America can make $1 billion at the same time, I think we could find a way to make this so this term fantastic for us, because it's the first time no one's looking at us. It's the first time nobody in society is going, those Negroes are this and that. No, Cubans are fighting against Trump. The Arabs are fighting against Trump. White women are fighting against. Let them fight. We need to sit back and upgrade our own financial portfolio. So even if you got $20, put it in Robinhood and try to and watch some videos on YouTube and try to make some money. This is the time to do it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that perspective of people looking at us is going to change. We're going to get into that later on in the show.
Oh, it will.
But I agree with that wholeheartedly. Go ahead, Vancat.
Obviously, this damn dog. Obviously, this is a friggin' criminal act that he did. He just broke another law in real time in front of our eyes. So I don't know how.
I agree with that too.
Crime unless you're convicted. If I punch you in the face and the cop says it never happened, I didn't commit a crime.
And then it's ironic, because you have all these people missing in the government that would be responsible for charging a crime. A lot of these areas are vacated, or it's just crazy.
This is something that the SEC would look into. But hell, it damn near ain't it's a skeleton crew in the SEC right now.
You guys are killing me. I told y'all this. Get rid of the people who care about anything. Put people in who gonna do what you want. This is Project 2025.
Well, that corroborate what Vancat just said. He basically saying the same thing you said.
No, but he's surprised. That's what it's on. That's what annoys me. The surprise. You can't be surprised when I told you this is gonna happen. I told him. I said, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as, just like what I was telling you. I was like, MD, there's no such. You were like, no, I'm telling you, if we did this. I'm like, no, because they're just going to fix it. They're just going to fix it and that's what they did. They fixed it. There's no, all right, I'm about to go on my white supremacist reign. I'm going to stop. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. So to corroborate what Vancat was talking about with the insider trade, let's take a look at a couple of these items off Al Jazeera. They wrote the article, said, stock soar, why Trump faces scrutiny over tariff pause timing. Now, they get into detail of what Vancat just stated. So check this out. It says the pause in the most additional tariffs, which had roiled the stock market, sent U.S. major stock indices soaring to one of their biggest single-day gains since World War II. That was yesterday. Even though they remain nearly 11% below February 19th peak under Trump. Now, let's check this out. 3 hours before he announced the pause, Trump encouraged investors to buy the stock. We know Trump put out a truth telling everybody to buy the dip. That's what he said. I ain't never heard no president say no shit like that. But that's what he said.
Yo, you know I was just telling you what I felt. I didn't know this really happened.
Hey, that's what he did.
Wow.
That's what he did. It says
Yeah.
Trump's allies have denied the charge, but his critics are now calling for Congress to investigate. We know
This nigga should be in prison right now.
well,
No.
Shifty Adam Schiff is trying to do just that. He's trying to do a congressional subpoena to find out, hey, look, like who got the money yesterday? That's what we want to know. That's what Shifty Adam Schiff is trying to do. But check this out. When I was reading this article earlier, this is what tripped me out. I'm gonna just go straight to it. It says, Disney had announced on second. Let me find it. Hold on. When I saw this, I said, oh, hell no. So were the tariffs paused? Had Trump previously indicated that a pause was possible? Before announcing the pause, Trump and his close aides had repeatedly held that the tariffs would not be paused or rolled back. That's what he was saying. He was like, look, it is what it is. It's written in stone. Until these countries come and make a deal, ain't no holding back shit. It's reciprocal tariffs, Liberation Day. I don't think there's any chance that President Trump's going back off his tariffs. This is reordering of global trade.
So he's purposely misleading everybody.
Yes. What is wrong? Van Cat, do you not listen when I talk? They will do anything to make money. It doesn't matter. We are not kicking dogs today, but we got a sale on Nikes. The dog kicker 3000s are on sale.
There it is. It says on Monday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt described a news report suggesting the possibility of the 90-day pause in tariffs as fake news. We just saw that on video. She said it's fake news. Great time to buy. What's the controversy? But about 4 hours before Trump announced the pause in tariffs, he posted on his True Social platform saying, in capital letters, this is a great time to buy. 4 hours before the pause. After Trump's later pause announcement, the S&P 500, which tracks the stock performance of 500 leading U.S. companies, surged 9.5%. This marked one of the biggest one-day gains in 80 years for the index. The NASDAQ also jumped by 12.2%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average grew by nearly 3,000 points. All this shit happened before the announcement. This means that investors who listened to Trump's True Social advice and bought into the market yielded large returns. On the other hand, investors who sold assets during the market drop before the tariff pause lost money.
He's just bold with it, man. Bold face.
Now, Al Jazeera providing us with a graph and a timeline of what happened when. At 9:37, Trump tweeted, "This is a great time to buy." You see the indices at that particular time. It rolled and rolled and rolled. At 1:18, that's when he authorized the pause. Some ain't right, folks. Some ain't right. And that's what I'm telling you. Why is Trump being accused of market manipulation? Now check this out. This is the damnable part right here. Democrats have accused Trump of deliberately creating market fluctuations by flip-flopping between imposing and lifting tariffs. They want Trump to be investigated for market manipulation, the act of deliberately misleading free-flowing markets for profit. Now we know Adam Schiff is leading that. We know that's what's going on with that. Let me get to what was being said about what happened. Now this is it. I got
another prediction for that when you're done.
I'm gonna just read this last little paragraph, and this is the part where I want to focus on. Suspicions about investors knowing about Trump's pause plan before he made an announcement were also fueled by the fact that NASDAQ call volumes. Now you're gonna have to educate me about that, Mike. But NASDAQ call volumes, I'm assuming that's when the brokers get in contact with the exchange and make moves. NASDAQ call volumes spiked less than 20 minutes before Trump announced the tariff pause. How the hell that happened? And I'm going to stop it right there. So obviously somebody was calling somebody before the announcement was made.
If that ain't insider trade.
Now the calls are when you're making, like you're buying up the stock. Like, I'm putting a call in. I need this, or I want to buy orange juice futures. I want to buy this. I want to buy that.
Right.
Yeah.
When the brokers call into the exact exchange,
right,
or whether it be online or at the actual market.
At the actual market, right. They went
Gotcha.
crazy because everybody else was like, "Oh snap, Trump about to do something." Bro, I just want to say this because I don't want to be a broken record because I don't want to keep saying the same thing, but I do want to say this one little new nugget. I promise you, and I hope y'all see this in the future so I can get my three letter joy. The Democrats are going to do a whole lot of bloviating, a whole lot of just Trump is this and Trump is that.
Yeah,
But they're
they're gonna
not gonna
grandstand the
make
hell out of it.
you're gonna grandstand, but they're not gonna do anything because they're making money too.
Now Mike is right on that.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah,
You
definitely,
Mike is
you
damn
know
sure
how to
right
make
on
me
that.
feel good inside. Thank you, sir.
definitely.
That's why I said the whole thing with Adam Schiff is theater. It
Yes,
don't mean
sir.
shit at the end of the day. If you ain't trying to get Trump or his cohorts the hell up out of here, none of it mean anything
Not
at
a
all.
thing.
So yeah, you definitely right on that. Van
You
Cat,
remember you
go
remember
ahead.
when I was telling you that thing I didn't like about and you took offense, but I hope you didn't because it wasn't meant to be you. Why I don't like fence riders.
That's
Because
fine.
it don't take much to get you pushed to the other side. Now that they see money's over there, they don't have the progressive stance to lean on. They don't have the progressive mind state to keep their morals where they are, where they should be. They're on the fence. So all they see is money, and they just go ahead and lean a little bit to the right, fall over the fence, and get in line with Trump and go right to the bank with everybody else. That's why I don't trust anyone that doesn't have a stand. Even you might say you're a person that's moderate and try to be in the middle, but you're not. You have things that you are staunchly not moving on. It doesn't matter what happens, you're going to believe this. They
Right.
don't. They don't. They're people who are you ever see tightrope walkers? They're tightrope walkers just waiting for the wind to blow them to a side. That's who they
Opportunists.
are.
Yeah. And I put a difference between opportunists and real moderates. You were absolutely 100% correct. It's principles and economic values that moderates hold to that can be tolerated on both sides. To me, being a moderate is more or less about establishing a connect in between aisles. You can do that as a staunch foundational values. You could do that, but you also could do it as an opportunist. So I don't argue with that fence riding point. I don't do it. I'm saying I can differentiate between the two systems as it pertains to what a moderate is.
I respect that.
I get your point though. Fat Cat, you want to say anything before we move on from this? Like I said, I just wanted to give an update on what was going on with the tariff situation.
No, that's it. I mean, there's nothing else to be said. This guy just bold-faced, just committing crimes in front of our eyes, and it's just astonishing to me the lack of like that ain't right. Something got to be done about that. It's just
Right.
it's just unbelievable to me.
And on top of all that, and we're gonna move on after this, I got the tweet that was originally posted that paused the tariffs, but the damnable thing
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna kill all of us, we ain't gonna be able to afford shit, is the fact that he upped the China tariffs to 125%. On
Mm-hmm.
top of the fentanyl tariff, which is 20%. So in actuality, the tariff is 145% on China. We ain't gonna be able to afford a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Bye Timu. And what you said that shit was called, Vacant Alibaba or whatever the hell y'all shop at.
Oh,
AliExpress.
Alibaba's the shit.
AliExpress.
Yeah, AliExpress and TikTok shop.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna shop, you gonna be on TikTok shop buying something for $5. It's gonna cost $105 to ship it over here.
Facts. They had my mom. They had my mom the other day. She was like, "Ooh, this thing is on sale for $2." I said, "Look at the shipping. Shipping was $19." She was like, "Never mind." I'm telling you, that's what's gonna be.
Like this shit is insane. So I don't know what else to tell you, folks. And China ain't gonna back down.
Oh
So
hell no.
y'all can kill that. They ain't gonna back down. And hell, next week is gonna be 300%.
So they make the argument that America is China's biggest customer, and if they don't do something, they're going to suffer. But the argument to back on that would be Well, China's just going to do deals with around the United States or above the
Right.
United States. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't have to be the United States. They
Right.
can set up something with other countries and other areas.
No, sir, Vancat. There's no could. They already have. No, that's it. Dude, there is not a country, and I mean this wholeheartedly. There is not a country in the world China doesn't have a deal with. There isn't a country on this planet that China doesn't have their people living in already. There isn't a country on this planet that if the US decides to get out, China will just send their stuff to other places and be fine. I'm telling you, we are not China. We are China. China's our biggest dealer. We're the ones that are
Yep.
addicted. They can move their shit anywhere. We're the
Yeah, look,
addicts.
that it is. The world is the addict. Look at and you know, keeping it on the drug deal line of thinking. The United States is the plug. China is the one that's actually manufacturing the dope and distributing it around the world to the junkies.
Oh, they the supplier, we the junkie. We're the pusher.
Us the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
We consume the drug. Now, by proxy, because we the United States of America, we consume the most. Because if income wise, we got the most, relatively speaking.
Hey, we're the dude that's selling the drugs that's high on our own supply.
Yeah.
See, so that's why it's even more important to boycott and to do all the, you know, the messaging of like, we're not going to spend our money here and there and whatnot. More Americans are going to fall into that. As this year go by, as next year come, it's going to be an ongoing thing where people are just going to start pulling back. Well, they're going to have to do it by whether they want to or not, because everything is going to be super tight. Jobs, finding jobs, because all those people losing jobs in the government, you think they finding another government to work for? No, there ain't no other government. They're going to come into the job market that you are in. And now everything's going to be super tight and there's no place for people. So it's going to be a big problem. I mean,
if y'all want to...
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I got a lag. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No.
No. Yeah, you're right. You're right what you're saying, though, Vancat, because even if we look at those government positions, you ain't just going to go out in the private section and find another paper pushing job like that.
Nope.
That ain't happening. So
here's the better part. The skills you had as a government worker don't always translate to the private sector. What's a TSA person going to do? How are you going to say, "Oh, I did TSA so I can be the guy at CC's that walks around with a headphone?"
You'll be old Otis. You'll be everywhere.
Exactly.
Everywhere on Martin. If he were going somewhere, old Otis was working there at security.
Yes, sir. That's my dude too. I love all of
This is a bigger issue as well, because you have a situation where now, depending on who your president is, every 4 years, if you work in the federal government on any capacity, doing anything, you have got to think in the back of your mind, oh my God, there can be a shutdown because of political reasons, not for nothing legitimate. And then that messes your money up. That messes up all the operations of the government in general. Or you could have a president that decides to do a harebrained scheme that totally transfers or destroys the government like we have right now. And so every 4 years, you're on edge, worried about who is the president, which is something you should never have to worry about when you're in the working environment. You should just be concentrated on your industry and your job. But now politics, if you work for the federal government, is a big consideration to even want to be in there. It's just weird. We should never have to go through this type of stuff. And some of those jobs are very essential jobs that you need people there. So now people may not try to acquire that skill or trade that they could use to go into a government job. They may go into a different industry altogether just because of this factor right now. So even when Trump is long gone and we think this is behind us, people are going to remember these moments in time And when they're thinking about, well, I'm going to decide to do this in college or whatever, they may go another route. And now there's going to be shortages to come to try to fill that. Because who's to say another Trump, a more even devious Trump that actually knows what he's doing, gets into power and does more than what we see now?
Yeah, you absolutely right. Last thing on this, and then we're gonna move on. Ricardo is talking about the People's Republic of China asking for his money back on the bonds. That's a yes and a no, because when they buy them bonds, it's secured under the contract of a certain time period and a certain amount of interest. But they can definitely say, we're not buying no more
We're
y'all
not
bonds.
buying no more.
Fuck y'all.
Yep.
So,
That's another one. That's an issue that's going to be stagnant for years to come. People are going to be thinking about anything that has to do with the United States as a risk, and they don't want to associate with it. This guy is friggin', he's going to be long dead, and that stigma is still going to be out there. I just don't know where we're going from here.
all right. Okay. All right. So that's enough about Trump and Liberation Day. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We'll see y'all next year, Liberation Day. So now we gonna get into I got these stories in tandem. They don't necessarily link, but it's dealing with crime. So I'm gonna link them together. The first one.
Oh yeah, is that a mango in what's the name's Avatar? Mike.
You know damn well it's a
Oh my God.
That's a bright ass mango.
It
Mangoes
almost look like an orange.
Hey, y'all better recognize them hating mangoes. They ain't no joke. Look how my eyes closed. Look how happy I look.
All right, so we're gonna get into this next story. Ricardo
Might look like you're breastfeeding.
Ricardo actually shared this one with me. I didn't know anything of it until he shared it. It's the story of Victor Perez. Victor Perez was a young Latino dude, 17 years of age, in Idaho, of all places. Like I said, black folks in certain places we just don't live. Latinos, you can find them in rain, sleet, snow, in the mountains, on the beach, in urban areas, in the country. It don't matter. You're going to find some Mexicans, Venezuela, you're going to find them. They're going to be there in some capacity.
They might want to rethink that strategy.
Well, according to this story, they damn sure might. So Victor Perez was 17, was shot 9 times by 4 members of the Pocatello PD within 30 seconds of arriving on the scene. Now, this young man was mute. I guess the political correct term is what would you call it?
Spectrum?
Not nonverbal.
Nonverbal, perfect.
Yeah, that's the political correct term. Nonverbal. Yes, he was on the spectrum. I think he was severely on the spectrum. Also had cerebral palsy. So this young man has some problems. Now this ain't Straight Talk Society. This MD thought about. I don't give a damn about what I'm playing. I'm gonna play this video. Some viewers may find this video disturbing. Viewers' discretion is advised.
There you go.
But we gonna play the video, and we're gonna take a look at exactly what happened, and we're gonna try to analyze exactly what was anybody at fault in the situation, so on and so forth. Let's check this out.
Red truck, red Jeep. And there's a blue car parked on the street next to it.
Did that pause for anybody else, or is it just me?
Yeah, what happened?
It paused, MD.
My bad. Well, while it's paused, let me get context. So this person is across the street, talking to emergency services, giving details on what's going on, waiting for the police to arrive. Let's continue.
Feel like I can hear the sirens.
That's the young man on the ground.
Is he having an attack or something?
All I know, he got a knife in his hand.
They've been arguing the whole time. It looks like it's domestic stuff.
Definitely domestic for sure.
They all know. I think that's like granddad and grandson. And
Yeah, I see the officer here. Yeah. Yep, I'm watching from out back. Yep, color. Okay, bye.
They instantly
Yo.
went into shooting. Oh my God.
Yo,
So-
you know what's my you
Go
know
ahead.
what? I want to say thank God there's a black mute or nonverbal guy who I think he had MS as well. A black guy who was walking from a store and the police jumped and beat him within an inch of his life, and he was deaf, so he couldn't hear when they just jumped on him because he didn't listen to him and beat him to a pulp. You remember that?
That was in Arizona.
Right. Thank God.
Actually, it was an update on that, like I think last week. But okay, so we're gonna break down what we just saw. Dude was on the ground. Why was he on the ground? The dude got cerebral palsy. He can't stand up for long on his own. He was on the ground swinging a knife. Again, on the extreme side of the spectrum as well. The dudes across the street, obviously white people,
Of course.
on the
Every
phone
time.
with the police, on the phone with the police, describing what's going on. They wait for the police to get there. Now, what did y'all notice anything about the shooting incident versus what you noticed?
I noticed that there was a large fence in between them and the freaking guy. He can't fly over the fence. He was already at least 7 feet from the fence, and they were 7 feet on the other side of the fence. Where's the danger? Is he a ninja?
He's on
Not
the
only
floor.
He on the ground.
He's on the floor and can't get up.
Is he a ninja, bro? Is he gonna flick the knife and hit all? He got the magic knife that killed Kennedy.
Like he was gonna activate his bionic legs and jump over that goddamn fence and shinobi everybody ass.
Everybody.
Is what he was gonna do.
This just
go ahead, Beckett.
It just shows how little the police actually tries to. You come on the scene, the first thing you should be doing, especially he doesn't have a loaded gun. There's no clear threat of imminent danger or anything. Like, get some information. All they got to go on is whoever got on that microphone at APB say, "Hey, there's a disturbance. Blah, 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 they got a weapon." That's all they know, but they don't know the severity of anything. They don't know the condition of the people. They don't know the mind state of the people. So it was just good enough to just show up. And not only that, it's not like it was one cop that let off shots, and it was one cop on site.
It was
multiple cops. Like,
it was five.
Exactly. How can 5 grown men, able-bodied men that can walk, can't handle a mentally disturbed person that has issues even standing up straight behind the fence?
Y'all are missing the point. What's on the other hip of the police?
Non-lethal.
Oh yeah, the taser. But sometimes the taser could kill people too.
Right.
You know,
but what kills you less, tasers or bullets?
Right. You're supposed to subdue him, but you don't need 9 shots coming off of 5 people. Yeah, they could have used this. They could have used the taser. They could have used anything. They could have just tried to
pepper sprayed him.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, something.
They could have anything, but immediately go to destroy and kill. That is why I've tried to tell y'all before. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Police have absolutely nobody looking over them. They cannot get in trouble. If they get caught doing something, I'm gonna prove it to you. If they get caught doing something wrong, they have to go to IA. The IA is run by police. They usually let them go. If they do something so egregious they have to go to court, the judges usually believe them and they give them a qualified immunity. If they lose qualified immunity and they have to go to court, the judge usually sides with them. If they
Mike, you're missing one. You're missing one,
the
Mike.
union, the police
union.
I
The
didn't even get to
union.
the union yet. The union was gonna be last. I was building
Shout
up.
out to VanCat.
I was building up. I didn't even get to the union yet because I was gonna make him guilty. Because even if he's guilty and goes to jail, they gonna let him out, and the union's gonna have him hired working somewhere else. They've done it.
Yep.
People have gone to jail. Look at the guy they trying to release now. They trying to release the guy that had the knee on the neck of what's his name. They still want him to be released and be a cop again. You cannot stop them. As long as you're in their fraternity, they don't care. Just come back and kill more non-whites. You
But
guys cannot watch this and tell me you don't smell white supremacy in this country.
so
Well,
the
go
next
ahead,
question,
VanCat. Then I'm gonna let
the
Ricardo
next,
rock.
yeah, the next question I would have to ask, if this was in Beverly Hills and it was a white woman doing the same exact thing, would we have that reaction by the police?
Of course
I
not, sir.
would.
There's a video. There's a video of a white woman got out. I think she hit someone with a car and she was pissed. And she got out of the car and she's cursing the cop out and walking away and she's like she's gonna run. And you
And
know
the
what the
cop
cop
shot her.
does?
Cop
No,
Yeah,
shot her.
but not
I
all
saw.
white,
cop
but
followed
not
her
all
around
white
and was
people
like,
are the
"Man, what are you
same.
doing?"
We're talking about affluent areas and affluent people.
Yeah, this was in a rich area. They follow her around and go, "Ma'am, you need to calm down. Ma'am, why are you upset? Ma'am, have a seat." They only
Okay.
kill
Yeah,
you in poor areas because they know poor people don't have enough money to affect them.
Right.
When you
it's
broke,
one.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say real quick. It's one video I saw today of it was basically a white Karen cussing the shit out of police, and police shot her.
Oh, I didn't see that video.
So
That's gonna make me.
yeah, before Ricardo go, I just say this one thing: the math ain't math. So
No.
it was five cops out there. He was shot 9 times. Everybody out there was blasted. Everybody. So obviously more than 9 shot were shot. They just hit
Gotta
him
be.
9 times. Also, they immediately got out the car, started blasting, basically.
Yep.
Taking no consideration. The mama was right there.
They shot him.
They didn't say, hey, ma'am, you need to leave. Ma'am, get over on this side. Hurry up, get over on this side. They ain't do none of that.
Because that denotes giving a damn.
God.
They don't care about life. They just want to go back. They will take you, bro. As long as they can say, "I feared for my life. I'm just trying to get home to my kids." As long as they can put that at the end, they'll justify anything. That's why I say, and I always say this: we need to find some money and make the spook who sat by the door an actual thing. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead, y'all.
Wait, so
Ricardo.
one other thing real quick. Sorry, MD, but a few weeks ago we had TFP. We had that discussion about the police and trusting of the police, and somebody said they'll ride around in their truck because they got their registered gun owner and all that. I ain't trying to have any kind of moment trusting and hoping that the police officer I encountered that day is in a good mood and whatever. So I'm not
That's
trying to do
different,
any
VanCat.
extra.
Don't do that. Don't do
No,
that.
no, no, no,
VanCat.
no, 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 no,
The
no,
beef has begun.
no, no. I'm just saying we're gonna ride around because that's what we do up in here. Because I got a little card that says I'm a registered gun owner. Like that's gonna do something. I ain't not trying to rationalize with these people. They call them the beast for a reason.
They are monsters, but you will not trample on
Ricardo.
his rights.
Ricardo, what's up, man? What you got on?
Hey y'all. I just want to start out by singing many men.
Okay, 9 times shot his ass up for real.
Y'all get that reference because I keep hearing NBC they shot him 9 times. I was like, what in the fuck going on here? This video was crazy. I don't know how it got leaked to the media, but somehow the media got a hold of it, and it's all the rage. Oh my God, this is terrifying for somebody. If you don't have, or you don't know of anyone that has a child on the spectrum like I do, because my daughter is on the spectrum. She's nonverbal as well. Thank God she speaks it when every now and then, but it's scary when law enforcement, this has been the same issue since COVID, where even Obama at one point had to say something when what's his name? George Floyd? Yeah, George Floyd incident happened. And it was everything that Mike described, everything about the unions and all of that. And we've gotten to this point now where there's still not enough training when it comes to people who are on the disability spectrum. Is nuts to me. How do you show up? And this is why I always say certain people, and I'm not gonna, I shouldn't discriminate or generalize, but I'm gonna have to say this. White folks, please keep and mind your damn business sometimes, because I don't understand for the life of me. Why are you on the phone with the police officers to begin with? Is it any of your concerns? Did the family call the police?
Exactly. Exactly.
Why are you so involved? And this has always been my problem with
Hold
certain.
on, Ricardo. Not only that, Ricardo. Let me stop you right there. I'm gonna let you rock out. Not only that, these people stay catty corner from where you live at. You don't know what the fuck is going on.
Exactly.
You don't know these people. Like, what the fuck you doing? You ain't trying to help. You don't know these people enough because they some beaners. You don't know them enough to understand what's going on as far as the disability of a child. Because you don't give a damn. They some beaners at the end of the day.
Did you see the video, MD, of the neighbors? It was a guy. He was saying we just called because we were.
I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that video. I'm gonna play. Matter of fact, let me play it right now, and then Ricardo continue after I
They
play
know
this
he
video.
wasn't white, and they know it was suspicious. That's all they need.
The doctor to tell us.
I'd like to warn you, the following footage is highly graphic and viewer discretion is advised.
You can see in the video autistic teenager Victor Perez holding a knife and threatening his mother. His family says he did have behavioral incidents because of his autism and mental and physical handicaps. Neighbors who shot the video said they called police hoping to help the family de-escalate the situation. However, when police arrive, that is not what happened.
Oh, yeah, they're here.
That nigga grabbed his gun immediately. He didn't even get to the site. And the woman right there
He was having a really bad day with mental issues, but he wasn't chasing anybody, and everybody.
So what the fuck you call the police for then?
Get out of the reach of his knife. So this wasn't a really dangerous situation.
Now stop right there. He just said usually. So obviously this hasn't happened before. He said usually people can get out of the way of his knife.
So when has the police ever de-escalated a situation? Every time I see them, they always escalating.
Hey, I want everyone that can hear my voice to not fall for this.
Yeah.
This white man knows exactly what he was doing.
Oh, this is made for TV, white man.
Come on, he knew exactly what would happen.
I was just about to say that.
He was calm and relaxed when he called. If he could have, hey, I'll let y'all in a little on my own life. I had an uncle who had a couple, like maybe a year ago, maybe less, had a diabetic crash, right? Mm-hmm. And I had to call 911 because he was nuts, like he was talking some nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And no less than 20 times did I tell the dispatch, he is not violent. There is no violence happening. Make sure you let your police know. When the police showed up, I wouldn't open the door. I said, excuse me, he's not violent. There's no need for violence. That you guys just need to be around in the periphery. Let the EMS handle it. That's what you do when you don't want violence to occur. You try to dispel the thought that any violence is necessary. This man knows this child isn't violent. He's sitting on the ground waving a knife. This has happened a plethora of times before. Did he say anything? No.
Thank you.
They know what they're doing. Go ahead, Swan. I'm sorry.
And just to add, just to summarize what everybody's saying, it wasn't like he was holding a gun. It wasn't like he was clearly on the floor when they arrived. Because if you notice, the one trooper showed up with his car, with his vehicle. And they all showed, before somebody investigated or look, you saw the family outside. And again, I've heard a plethora of things overnight where people are like, why didn't the family people? It wasn't the family that called the law enforcement. It was the next door neighbor. And even in that case, you are my next door neighbor. You don't know that you have lived on the street for God knows how long. It didn't occur to you that my child had a disability. Come on now. Come on. Are you that oblivious? And that's the issue that I have with all of this when it comes to people who have, and I know people are going to be like, but how the hell is the police officer supposed to know? How did the neighbor know all of this to begin with? You're the one that called, right? So you clearly had it's either you were nosy, you didn't know how to mind your own damn business, or you clearly didn't know the whole information. Therefore, you're there being on the phone talking about, oh, this is what, giving real-time accounts. I need y'all to be accountable when it comes, and when I mean y'all, it's people that are calling dispatch or law enforcement or whatever. Make sure when you call, know exactly the detailment of what you're calling about, because you could that and mind you, he's in stable condition. I'm assuming he is now, because that's 9 times. We don't even know where they shot. The most of the shots hit him at, in terms of if it's upper chest or lower. But in this case, he's in intensive care. That
He's fighting for his life.
He's literally fighting for his life. What happens now when you have to now look that neighbor in his eye or her eye, knowing that you're responsible for those people showing up, those law enforcement officers, which you know damn well, they are always trigger happy. It's not even their mental state is not going, oh, we have a disability case. And even then, they're still gonna. We've seen cases where you have somebody call because she has hot water in the stove, and they still did what? You've had situations where here in Florida, the guy who's a teacher is saying, hey, I have a student. Listen, I have my hands up. Don't shoot. They still shot the damn guy. There are situations where you go,
I remember that.
I don't know if it's wise or.
Hell, and then asked why you shoot me, and his hands were still up.
Literally. And he's literally telling them verbatim, hey, I'm the person that's the caretaker of this person. Please don't shoot. My hands are in the air. He's fine. I'm trying to de-escalate. They still had that one idiot law enforcement officer fire the shot and then go.
Hey, don't forget the guy who an acorn hit the car and he shot the car.
Look, what? So this is my thing now. Is it a situation where we've reached a point of no return where we're going to go, okay, when is it enough is enough, where now the court of public opinion is going to go, well, we know law enforcement and police officers and all of that, they have, absolute power and blah, blah, blah. But when are you guys going to do proper training when it comes to, because you can't say there's not a lot of people who have disability in this country. There's a huge percentage of people who have a disability or on the spectrum, who cannot communicate probably well, can't speak, maybe mute, maybe nonverbal, maybe can't stand up like this person was. What are you going to do then? You're going to just keep shooting on account of, oh, I just saw somebody. Are you kidding me right now? Like, this is crazy.
Twin, I'm sorry. I hear where your heart's about to go, and I want you to stop before you even go there.
You have to extend it to those people that are, the ones that are like, wait, why didn't the family tell the law enforcement officer that they have somebody who has a disability in the domicile? First of all, the family didn't call. So then who do we blame here? Do we blame the next door neighbor, or do we blame the family for this? Because if the family needed the police officer to show up, or the police officers,
they would have called.
Thank you.
They would have called. Now let me finish up the video, and I'm gonna let you finish out, Ricardo. Let's see what remorse he showed and compare. Let's see what happened.
And the police were more called to come in and help the family de-escalate and get it under control. And this is the biggest tragedy. I witnessed it, and it was really tough on me and my son to watch that. And I just want to send out my deepest sympathies to the family. And we were trying to help you. We weren't trying to bring a firing squad down to Harrison Street.
He tried to stop him. He was here. He tried to stop the officers. The officers just came. They didn't even say what's going on. The kid was there. He was already on the floor. He was standing. He was not going after police. He have impairment. He can barely walk. He can barely walk. And people who is around here, they can tell that.
Victor's aunt tells us that he is fighting for his life in the hospital.
Now today they told me they have to cut his leg, but he's so weak that he might not survive. So we're still here waiting for the doctor to tell us.
So yeah, they got to amputate one of his legs.
Well, this is an over $1 million lawsuit right here at the police
Oh yeah.
department.
Oh yeah.
And
Hey,
some
but
people
of
need to
whose
lose
money?
their jobs.
Of whose money?
Taxpayers.
Whatever
Taxpayer
podunk
money.
city of Idaho they live at.
Exactly. Hey, before any of you start the nonsense about we need reform, we need to fix, we need cut it. Don't even start it now. We can save time and move on to the next subject. We live in a country of white supremacy. No matter what happens, white people will not sign up. Just a year ago, we were saying defund the police because they have no understanding of what to do for people with mental health. Let's put that money to some officers. What do white people do? You crazy niggas want to defund the police? Hell no.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
white supremacy is still the #1 movement in America. I don't care what BLM says. I don't care what anyone else. White supremacy will always rule, and they will always fall back to white supremacy. I don't care if this was a tragedy. Who did the man say was hurt? My son and I were hurt. Ain't a bullet fly near him. But they're traumatized. Man, get the white people will
Mike,
always make themselves the victim. They will always make themselves the victim. Go ahead.
You're going down the white supremacy hill. And that's a good thing because you about to be a kid in a candy store with this next story.
It's so easy. Hey, they make it so easy, bro.
So now we're going to go to the story of Austin Metcalf. Austin Metcalf was a young man somewhere in Texas.
Oh, okay.
That was stabbed at a track meet.
Oh, I've heard this.
By this young man, Carmelo Anthony.
Oh God, what a name, Carmelo Anthony. God damn.
Carmelo
Anthony. My God.
No, this story.
At the top you see his mugshot, and at the bottom you see his YN poses for the gram or whatever. Now I'm hearing conflicted reports.
Yeah.
Now was he truly a YN? I'm hearing some reports that saying that he was an honor student at his high school.
Yes, he was. They were all friends, MD. They all knew each other. So let's just.
So you telling me that gun is AI, and that middle finger is AI?
So you can't hold no gun and be an honor student at the same time?
No.
Damn. I ain't know
you can't carry a knife and not be a murderer.
If you're trying to butter some biscuits. If you're trying to butter biscuits.
I carried a knife to cut hard bread. I'll be wanting to kill stuff.
You can't be and not be a stripper. I'm sorry. It's a conflict of interest there. Okay.
I ain't never heard nobody say nothing like that. That's crazy. But in any event, so let's look at a news clipping of this particular situation. And like I said, I'm gonna make Mike heart flutter with some of these clips that I got of this what's going on. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Matter of fact, we're gonna do this. Like I said, we all know the story. They were damn, do I got it? Oh damn, I ain't put it in here. Oh shit, hold on. Oh yeah, I did. All right, let's go.
It said that it was self-defense. I don't have any reason to disbelieve that, but I needed to develop facts and talk to people and figure out what's going on before I make any statements about what I think happened. I don't have any reason to think it wasn't self-defense at this time.
Walpole will seek to lower Anthony's $1 million bond next week. Wednesday morning's deadly encounter at Kirkendall Stadium, witnessed by about 40 student athletes and a handful of coaches, as detailed in arresting documents, sparked, witnesses said, when Memorial High School junior Austin Metcalf told Carmelo Anthony to move from underneath Memorial's pop-up tent that was being used during a downpour. Witnesses said Anthony, a Centennial High School student, immediately opened his bag, reached in, and told the victim, "Touch me and see what happens." When Metcalf pushed him, witnesses said Anthony pulled a black knife from the bag, stabbed Metcalf in the chest, and ran away. While no school resource officers were inside the stadium, one was nearby. City police also rushing in, covering the knife with a blue tarp. Caught nearby, Anthony reportedly admitted to officers, "I did it. He put his hands on me. I told him not to," before asking officers if it could be considered self-defense and if the injured teen was going to be okay. The victim lay dying in his twin brother's arms.
All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go. Just give me a minute, because I know it's about to get ready to go down. So by what the reports say, it started raining like hell. They was at a track meet. Everybody just chilling. It started raining like hell. The closest tent was that Pacific. He didn't go to that school, but that was, I don't give a damn about what the school is. It's raining. He get up under the tent. The white boy tell him, "Hey, get your ass on. Like, this ain't your, go to y'all tent." He was like, "It's raining. I don't give a damn about what you're talking about." I'm assuming some wordplay began to unfold at that point. And young Carmelo said, "Hey, look, I don't give a damn about what you're talking about. If you put your hands on me, it's gonna be a problem." I believe, now this is me. I can't corroborate nothing that I'm about to say. I believe it was way more than what the news report said.
Of course.
I believe it was some scuffling going on. And maybe it got to a point where it was a numbers game, and he may not have had a choice because of his twin brother. If they get to swing, you don't think his brother gonna swing as well?
You gonna take all my meat, bro. Pause. You taking all the meat. I ain't never seen a twin fight and the other twin ain't right there
Ain't doing nothing. You crazy as hell.
I ain't never
Like I said,
seen
I got Uday and Kusei. It going down if you hit one of them. It's over with. It's over with. Trust me, I know. I got twins. So in that aspect, and you know, they friends was over there as well. So it probably went down. You know, he got outnumbered, and just he ain't had no choice but to pull out the blade.
Now you know what's the best part? You know what's the best part? Here it is.
What?
He told him to leave. Then the young man opened his bag, and what you telling me a bunch of dudes
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Sat around and watched the guy open his. You know what I'm gonna do if me and you arguing and you start to go into a bag? I'm knocking you the hell out. Period.
Yeah,
Point blank.
I don't believe that one bit.
You don't believe none of these stories. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
But in any event,
that's the media.
He was able to get space and pulled out the blade and got the jabbing. That's what I believe happened. Now, again, I'm Mr. Law and Order. Everybody know that. Should he have had a blade on school grounds? That's enough. That's a crime felony right there. I got to play my part. That's my gimmick. I got to use it.
Is there anything happening at school that will make a student want to have to bring that in for protection? Because for me, this sounds like
I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole with you, brother. I'm just laying down the law.
Well, they call me Bugs Bunny because I'm just saying, if there's a reason and altercations were happening before this happened that gave him just cause to want to have to bring something to school to protect himself in a situation like this, then that's on the school for not creating a safe environment. Why are people getting bullied? They don't step in. A lot of these bastards know that these kids are going to get picked on and whatnot. They don't do that.
No,
matter of fact, they think it's funny.
Van Cat, you can't bring a knife to school, bro. I don't care how you psychoanalyze it. You can't do it, bro. I just can't.
I've done it.
Go court.
I've done it too.
Yeah.
But that don't make it right.
If people don't feel safe, man.
But guess what? If you don't put your hands on me, you never know the knife was there.
Exactly.
There you go. And that's why I say it's a tangle web we weave going down these particular rabbit holes. Ricardo, go ahead.
No, MD, let me ask the question. Now, did you see the other picture of all four of them at one point where they're like...
I saw that. That's the picture. So the picture where he had the AK,
correct.
Those weren't them same white boys. Those were some now he hung with white boys. Those were some different white boys from what because I was trying to see, because hell, I don't want to say all white people look alike, but in a certain particular space they do.
Yes,
in a certain particular space they do.
And
now go ahead.
Right, folks, some of y'all do tend to look alike. I hate to say it, just like y'all think.
Especially in the Podunk town they do.
Right.
And you know, in the Podunk. Yeah, in the Podunk town they do. But yeah, them was some different white boy. He hung again. That's why I kind of pushed back on, like, he was taking YN pictures. Don't get it twisted. He was. Do I believe he was a YN based on the reports that I've heard? No.
Can you elaborate what YN?
ultimately, what is a YN? You know what I'm saying? YN, young nigga. That's what they
Let's be
call them these
clear.
days.
I guarantee if you go through them white boys' IG before this happened,
They
before the
take
pandemic,
YN pictures.
they got YN pictures just
Yes,
as well.
Exactly. They take the YN pictures. So
Appropriation 101. And
that's just the thing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he had a knife at school. Like I said, I'm gonna play the Law and Order role. He had a knife at school. That's a felony. He was involved in the event, then ran away. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna play that role. Do I believe what the reports are saying? Hell no.
No, that's exactly.
I think they were jumping on that boy, and he just said, "Fuck it, I got to go all out."
Yep. If you swing on
That's what he did.
Hey, listen to the interviews from the family. They all say the same thing. They go, "I'm gonna leave this part out because you know, it's a family thing." Bro, I honestly believe these dudes are trying to kill him.
Yes.
And that man had to save his life.
Facts.
And now they're gonna railroad him. The only thing that can save this guy is if somebody happens to have a video.
Or something.
And I promise if the cops find this guy before the video gets out, that video ain't gonna never see the light of day because they're gonna want to put him away. If you want to see white supremacy in its purest form, go look at the Facebook or the Instagram posts of these stories and then read the comments. If you want to know that white supremacy is this country's number one group and number one what do you call it? Input out. What do you call it? Damn it. I can't think of the name. It was funny. But if you want to know that white supremacy is still this nation's number one thing, go look in the comments and hear how many ways people can say the N-word without saying it. It is amazing. You've never heard so many people who love weapons rights and guns rights and the right to arm yourself say, well, who has a knife in their back pocket unless they're a criminal? It's hilarious to me.
All right, Mike. So you ready? You segue the hell out of me. You ready?
Oh, I don't even know what you're coming with. Let's go.
So all throughout this particular situation, social media has been going crazy.
Of course it is.
There's a picture that went viral that's been shared over 1 million times. I'm gonna show the picture right now.
I give you Exhibit A.
This is young Austin Metcalf. This picture has went viral. I don't know what the hell them symbols mean. Don't ask me. I don't know.
That is some goofy ass crap.
White Lives Matter 2007 to 2025.
Wow.
Now to pair with this particular picture, let's go to this next news clip. And this shit is troubling. Let's go to it. I don't know why it's starting like that. Here we go. Oh shit. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Can y'all hear that?
No. We just see the mama cry.
Behind the scenes ain't easy, bro.
Hold on.
And then think of that racist guy that used to be on ESPN.
Over there.
Yep. Here now.
I grabbed him. I see.
Now this is Fox News, y'all.
Let's go.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, she trying to win that Oscar hard. She's trying to win an Oscar and an Emmy.
You can picture what happened when what was coming out of his chest, and y'all can visualize other stuff. I don't want to put down my mom right now, but I pushed my hand on there, trying to make it stop, and I grabbed his head and I looked in his eyes. I just saw his soul leave, and it took my soul too.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to ask you one last question. I've seen interviews with your husband, who I can hear in the side, by the way. I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night.
No, he's not there, nigga. Stop making stuff up.
Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
But I have seen interviews with your husband in the last 24 hours, and it was remarkable to me that I heard your husband say, within hours of this, that he forgave this other young man, and he got there so quickly. And I honestly don't know that I could. And I just want to see And I don't know if there's a right or a wrong place to be, especially as quickly as this has happened. Megan, how do you feel on that front today?
I am not like their dad. I am so angry at that boy. And it's just not fair. That's all I have.
I understand.
I'd like to say
not
is,
fair.
I'd like to say is, it's forgave, not forgotten, but I'm not at that point yet to forgive that kid for what he did to my brother. Because, 17 years, my best friend, just there and in the blink of an eye, I lost him. So I'm not at that point.
Okay, so first of all, he contradicted himself at the end. Forgave, not forgotten, but I can't forgive. So now here's the thing, and like I said, this especially for you, Mike.
That dry ass mama face with no tears.
Well, I'm not, because at the end of the day, she lost her son. I'm not even going to go that work. Right.
Absolutely.
I feel you. I would though, because I'm an asshole. But go ahead.
At the end of the day, we watch the news.
Mm-hmm.
At least on the news between 5 and 7 o'clock, we hear reports about 25 to 30 motherfuckers getting killed.
Yes, we do. Mm-hmm.
For various reasons. This, in relative terms, is no different because there was no high implications of hate crime or some type of terrorist activity. None of those shit. It's just an everyday white boy got killed at school.
Yeah.
Why in the hell is Fox News playing that and giving a one-on-one interview?
You know why?
You know
for
why?
that?
You know what? Hey, you want to laugh? Read what they wrote. That he was murdered. Murder is not something that happens. Murder is something that's decided.
Exactly.
Niggas die every day, B.
Exactly. He was killed. They decided already. They've already convicted him. So they need him to push in front so Trump and his cronies can get those tariffs moving. Let's get that market back down so we can make money and then put that market right back up and make some more money. Hey, look, niggas are killing y'all. Look out. Don't look at Trump. Look at the niggas. They started a race war. Look.
That's a good point, Mike, with that murder thing. The word, just lets you know they already preconceived and convicted the thing.
He was killed. He's not murdered. Murder is a distinction after the fact. That's a law. That means you broke the law. You committed murder. That he was just killed.
And MD would usually say, what is the most famous word we always use, MD, when it comes to crimes? Due process. Due process. You cannot just, and this is why I have a problem with the media. It wasn't until I started going to high school that I realized that you can't trust everything the media tells you, because they're feeding you a whole bunch of stuff that they're trying to feed in terms of narrative-wise. And you will take the bait every single time, not realizing, wait a minute, I'm being manipulated. This is manipulation and distraction 101. The whole, oh my God, I'm going to cry. And the father said that he forgave that young man. Please stop it. Please stop.
Like, you know why he forgave him? To show that whites are better than niggas.
Mm-hmm. We know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. But
in a regular circumstance, this wouldn't even be covered like this. That's just what I'm trying to say.
It's because
it would be covered.
It's a black kid killing a white kid. We have to push that to the front. It has to be pushed to the front.
Like, this is insanity. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know. If I had to guesstimate within a year's time, maybe a trial will start or something like that. I'm telling you, this verdict is gonna hang on the ears of every black person in America. This might be another one of them long summers.
Yes, it's going to be a tipping point again. I've called this last time with the George Floyd thing. I think there's always a tipping point, but I think there's going to be a point of no return. How much more do black people have to go through in this country before you get to a tipping point where nobody's going to give a damn anymore? I think it's getting there. I've been saying it like this. You're just going to keep poking the bear until the bear eventually just claw your ass back. And
man, these niggas ain't going to do nothing. Stop lying, twin.
Really, twin? You don't think they want to do something?
These these niggas are so happy to have their iPhone, so happy to have a Walmart. They ain't doing shit.
I
These
don't
niggas
think
ain't do them niggas that would have did something, they murdered them in the 70s.
true. But
These niggas don't
Black
even these
Maga,
niggas
Black Maga ain't gonna do nothing.
You may be.
Go ahead, MD.
Nah, because I was about to segue. Finish up your thought.
These niggas don't want to grow. They can't be bothered to grow a tomato. You think these niggas gonna go to war? These niggas ain't going to. Yo. I watched a guy the other day. He was saying how he was sitting there. He was with his brother, and a cop hit his brother, and he knocked the cop out. And they were looking at him like, you can't do that. And he's like, no, what I can't do is sit there and watch a man beat my family down. And I looked at this guy and I thought, sir, you are the only person left like that. Because everyone else would have pulled their camera out.
Yeah, it's incredible to me that ain't no footage. I don't know what we talk about a stadium full of teenagers.
I'm telling you,
where the hell is the footage at?
There is footage. It's being suppressed. There is footage. Because if they got footage of a little boy, if they got footage of a kid slapping the teacher whooping his ass, if they got footage of the women trying to woo the little kids to give them some baby dick, there's footage of this. There's footage of everything. They would have. You know how you know there's footage? Because even if they didn't catch footage of the stabbing, they would have caught footage of the aftermath. It was a high school game, a high school track. All they do is record shit.
Right.
That's all they do. They wake up in the morning and start recording themselves waking up. That's all they do. There's hella
Get ready with me.
The police, exactly. The police are suppressing it because it's not. I'm telling you, one way or the other, they're either trying to suppress it because it's gonna make the white boys look bad, or they don't want. You know what I'm telling you, there's money going around. There's something suppressing it. That's all it is. There is videos of me walking around. I don't even go outside.
All right, so let's transition to the last part of this. So I give pushback in the sense that the amount of support that I done seen for this young brother has been extraordinary. There was a legal fund put out. I forget what it's called. It ain't GoFundMe. It's another one of them things.
I heard he had a GoFundMe and they crushed it. They're trying to crush it.
Give See and Go is what it's called. The goal was $300,000 for top notch legal representation. They've well exceeded that. Well exceeded.
Nice.
Inversely, the GoFundMe for the funeral services of Austin Metcalf is dwarfed compared to what Carmelo Anthony done raised. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that I'm saying that this may be a moment where black folks rally behind the young man. Like I said, to me, I'm looking at it like I need more information. I'm not saying I ain't behind him. I'm definitely
it sounds like self-defense. It sounds like a clear self-defense.
It definitely sounds like self-defense. But again, I must play my role.
Hey,
I must play my role.
How about the two black guys that got hung and they said it was suicide murder, and now they realize they were killed? Where's the news coverage for that?
In Georgia. The two
Yeah.
We just can't keep this so many.
You got two athletes. You got two athletes stabbing each other. They hung niggas. No coverage though. Okay. I'll be quiet.
So I'm gonna play this last video, and this is of a dude named Black Alpha Network. Now, let me give a caveat. This person is a dumbass. He's a Tariq Nasheed clone. He talking the same mannerisms and colloquialisms as Tariq Nasheed do. He's a clone.
Yeah.
He one of these FBA retards that don't understand reparations at all. But I want y'all to listen to him and see if he got a point on some of the things that he's saying. And we're going to give our closing on this particular situation.
And look at my girl picture.
Here for the next 50 years and explain ourselves. But I'd rather just go ahead and put in work. Put in work is a lot better than explaining yourself. And then remember, fam, the person you're trying to explain yourself to, they don't give a damn what you got to say because they're the one who created the problem. You think these people don't know that a debt is owed? They're the ones who created the goddamn debt. You think these people don't know that you're out here being harmed? They're the one out here harming you. So what the hell are you sitting here talking to them for? The days of talking are over. The days of action are in full. We've already established why the debt is owed. And we're not going to sit here and explain for another 15 goddamn years. Go get the goddamn money. We're evolving our message as well. We're evolving our warrior class. We're evolving everything we do. We're going into the second phase of this era, y'all. We all getting older. We all getting older. We're not going to play that game. Y'all see that situation going on down there in Texas, right? We're not going to play that same game where one of us gets harmed. They start making GoFundMe pages for the assailant, and then we sitting there toe down. Now you seeing we defended ourselves down there, and what's happening? We making a GoFundMe for our own people. You see the difference now. We're changing the game. It used to be we get harmed, and then the person who harms us, the assailant, this person ends up becoming a millionaire. George Zimmerman, these people made the bag. Now look what's happening. You seeing us getting behind it. And I remember people saying, damn, why don't we ever start the GoFundMe? Now we doing it. Now we doing it. Somebody ran up on a young brother. The brother defended himself, and the community comes.
Was that Jesse on there?
We say, hey, let's help with your legal fees. Let's help you with this. Let's promote you. Let's get you out there. You see the difference now? Y'all know they hit us through the gambit. We was on the circus. They had us in a rat race on the treadmill. We don't know yet. Think about Trayvon Martin. Think about Mike Brown. Think about Jordan Davis. All right? Think about all of them. Eric Gardner. Think about all of them, fam. What would happen? We get harmed. 99.9% of the dominant society would say it's justified. The news gives you a bunch of clown show. We don't know. Can't figure it out. The person who harmed us gets set free. Black folks go home and cry. We ain't crying no more.
Okay, so yeah, that was the brother Black Alpha Network. Again, you know, I
was
got
that Jesse on the
I wasn't paying attention.
I believe that was him.
Yeah. Hey, you know Jesse, an FBA fanatic. FBA fanatic. But again, it was some truth to what the dude was saying.
Oh yeah, but that's always the case.
That's my dream. I feel like we should have did that for Kaepernick. Kaepernick should have been the first one. But
so maybe, just maybe, we and again, like I said, the way I view law and the way I have my perspective on how I have an outlook on law, that's all well and good. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we got to do right is right and wrong is wrong. At the very least, despite what our viewpoints are, we can at least defend certain parameters around right, wrong. As it pertains to law, of course. I ain't gonna shy away from that. But distinctively, what I believe and what we all concisely believe in, the brother defended himself. I ain't no way in hell he just pull out a knife, no goddamn reason.
Facts.
And just get the jab at school.
And
like
then
what?
Run. If you
and then run away.
Stab niggas, you gonna stab everybody. I'm trying to stab all of y'all down.
I just can't get with that.
The runaway part shows that he isn't trying to do anything.
He's trying to get away.
If you were trying to do something, I'm stabbing up everybody around. I'm not running. I'm Heisenberg for Breaking Bad. I'm not running from the danger. I am the danger. The fact that he was running, that's an indication right there that he stabbed to give himself a chance to run away, to get free from it.
I just wish he had not admitted guilt, though. There's no need for you to admit anything until a lawyer is present. I mean,
but he's saying
if you defended yourself,
correct.
He said, I stabbed some people, and it sounded like you didn't even know if the guy died or not.
Nah, I'm sorry. Twins right on this.
One of the things that I think we need to, in addition to financial literacy, we've got to start teaching our
police education.
Exactly. We've got to stop doing this thing where, don't do that, because you're not seeing a regular white folk going, oh my God, I just blew up the whole building. You're literally seeing them very docile, very quiet, just like, I'm not seeing anything until a lawyer is present. We've got to stop doing this thing where we're always like, oh, I'm going to admit guilt because it makes me. No, they're going to look at you guilty regardless. So don't open your mouth. Let the lawyer do your job for you. But that was my.
How can you say self-defense if you don't say you did it? You're not defending anything if you didn't do it.
You're not supposed to say self-defense. Your lawyer.
You don't. Yeah, there you go, Mike. You don't supposed to say shit. But
you're supposed to be quiet.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. You tell me if somebody come up in my face
No.
and I have to use force.
No,
In
I'm
my
talking about
mind, I'm
afterward,
thinking,
sir. Afterward.
nah, man.
When the
Something
police
you
got
know
to
when
him.
you're self-defending. It's not an epiphany in court. You know, in the moment, this person just verbally threatened me. This person just physically threatened me.
You're
And now I'm coming back.
That ain't for everybody else to know. That's for you to know.
You're misunderstanding that, Cat. How
Go
you
ahead.
feel inside is your business. What you tell other people is not their business. You don't need to tell them anything. When I get a ticket, you know what I do? I look forward out my windshield, and they go, do you know how fast you're going? And I just sit there, look through the windshield. And then they go, can I get your license registration? I pass my license registration. They be like, hey, is this your address? I look forward.
That's right. See, Vancat, you got to understand, law is a game of words.
Yep.
That's what it is.
It is.
And that's what I say all the time. That's why I say, hey, this is what the law say. I say that specifically for a reason. You can't. It ain't up for interpretation in regards to what you feel. It's not. So if you do something, yeah, I agree with what Ricardo said. He shouldn't have left. Like I think, again, because wording is everything. The wording on that report is say that he flee the scene of the crime.
Fled the scene. Yep.
On automatic.
Nah, that's misinterpretation of what happened.
It ain't no misinterpretation. He ran. It ain't no misinterpretation
There's
about
two
that.
ways to look at it, and they conveniently make going that other way. If I'm in a hostile situation, you see it in movies as well. Horror movie, you hit real quick, and then you run off. They don't stand there, shove you down, and then come on top of you and then shoot you in the face or hit you in the heart or whatever. They do something to get you away from them, and then you go the other way. That shows a person trying to remove themselves.
It's a difference, but
and stood there.
It's a difference between putting space in between yourself and the enemy and running. It's a difference. What Buddy say on 40-year-old version? When I remove the blade from his sheath, I cannot return it until it has spilled blood. That's just what it is. So if it's going down, I'm not going to goddamn place because I need to know I'm straight.
Fact.
Me running away and turning my back on.
But you guys said he had a brother, he had friends there, the white guy. So if you stay there, you leave yourself open for more ass whoopings.
That's why you stay there in the shinobi position. Yeah,
that ain't gonna happen. He would get killed, man. You would get killed,
man.
So you just stab one of theirs, and there's 5 or 6 of them. What do you think is gonna come next?
I'm gonna stab.
So either you gotta kill. You're gonna have to stab up 5 or 6 people.
Exactly.
Additional.
Yes.
Or you try to create space and get away from it.
No, sir. Stab him. That
don't fly for me, man. That don't fly.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what your issue is, and I tell you this every week. You have Negro morals.
Oh,
that's
Lord,
your problem. You the same people that be in court telling the judge, but that's not fair, Your Honor. And the judge look at you and go, "This ain't about fair. A fair is a place where they judge pigs. This is about the law." You need to get that mentality out of your mind. Fair don't
so
mean
you're in other words, you're telling me to take some lumps or my life being ended for the fact that it's going to look a certain way in the eyes of some crackers? No, man.
You know who the crackers that is going to look? You know who the crackers is going to look? You know who the crackers are that it looks away at? They're called the jury.
Right, and I believe that in a jury setting, when it's being said, any rational person could understand if a person's attacking me, you try to do something, hurt them or stab them, and then you run away. Because I'm not Bruce Lee. I'm not trying to have no big fight. I'm not Blade.
Who's going to be in the jury?
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
You got these
especially in tumbleweed, Texas.
Spiritual viewpoints. Niggas is not going. You're not going to make it, sir. You keep believing right and justice. Superman don't really exist, Van Cat.
Oh, I know that. Superman ain't saving nobody unless you're a cat or a white woman.
Okay,
you ain't getting saved.
So you need to accept the truth. This is the truth. He's not gonna get a free shake there.
What you guys are saying is this guy should have took some lumps and
No,
not
I'm not.
defended himself.
I'm
No, ain't
saying
That's
he
what
nobody
you're
should
saying he
have
saying.
should take
stabbed the
no lumps.
guy.
That
He should have stabbed him, ran away a good 20 feet away, stood there and called the police on his phone.
Right.
they would have
And
just
I was
came after
accosted.
him.
I was
stood in the ninja
accosted.
guiding position
Yeah,
and did that.
Now,
and
I agree
watched
with.
him.
I can agree with that part. Run off and you call the police.
That's what I
That's
said.
what he
Not run
should have
off.
done.
Get yourself 20, 30 feet away. Call the police while you're standing there watching them. And they got to run 20, 30 feet to get to you. You're on the phone to police. Hey, I was accosted. These gentlemen tried to jump me. One of them got injured. Can you please send police?
But again, when you're in the heat of the moment too, you may not have that presence of mind as well. When adrenaline starts kicking in and you're in that moment, it is very easy to not do those things you consider to be sensible after the fact.
Which is why Twin
So
said we need to teach people to do it.
I,
That's what started the whole
I ain't
thing.
taking no lumps. I'm not taking no lumps for
Nobody said take any
optics.
lumps. You invented
Yeah,
this.
that's what you guys pretty much said. You
No, we
said he's
didn't.
wrong because
Vancat
either
is
he
talking about
stabs
fight or
everybody.
flight. Right. He
Vancat
talking about
had
fight or
yo,
flight. He
he's
basically
like,
saying, look, it's either you run away from the situation or it's gonna be kill Bill, everybody dead.
Yes.
It can't be nothing in between, is what
It ain't
Vancat
gonna
is
be
saying.
nothing in between because I just stabbed one of theirs. They're not gonna just stand there and just be like, "Oh my God, he stabbed them."
yo,
They
plenty of people
will
do that. What
if
are you
you in the
talking about?
ninja guiding position, they will.
Plenty of people do that.
First of all, you
I've
got to
been
be a ninja.
right next to somebody who was stabbed, and I stood there like, hey, he hurt. Oop.
Nah, man, what you guys saying are crazy. You guys want people to take lumps for no reason, possible death,
What lumps are
because
you
you
talking
believe
about?
you literally said go to ninja position, like that's going to create some sort of magical force field. Yeah, you
Bro,
guys are wild, man.
If Vancat, if you three are trying to jump me, okay, you
Yeah,
three and Trevor, and I stab
yeah.
Trevor in the leg, and I run 30 feet away from you. Now you're all standing there around Trevor, and I'm 30 feet away. Where's the lumps happening?
You know that people have legs, right?
And I have legs too. So if you come near
They
me and
can't
I keep
continue
moving
to come
back,
after you.
I keep running then. Now you're chasing me. Now you're
Yeah.
chasing me. See the difference? There's no lumps. You're chasing me. If you catch me, you catching this knife.
Well,
But if you don't catch me, you're the aggressor. I'm running away.
I'm stabbing niggas and I'm then leaving. I'm stabbing and leaving.
Like I said, that cat
I'm
has
all day.
he's got Negro moral thoughts. They
Yeah,
think
whatever.
however they feel. They think
I'm
how
gonna
they
start calling.
feel.
I'm gonna
trumps the
start
law.
calling you lump because you want me to take some friggin' lumps for no
I don't
reason.
want
I
you
ain't
to take
taking no
lumps.
lumps, man.
I want you to
said
make a
stabbing
distance
and leaving.
and then I want you to be on the phone with the police. So if they chase you, you can go, dispatch, they're chasing me. I'm running. If they catch me, I'm going to defend myself.
If
You have to
people,
think that way.
hey, look here.
You're a
If
black person in
anybody,
America.
if anybody tried to harm me or invade my space any way, shape, or form, and I verbally say get off or don't mess with me, anything happen after that, that's your ass. So if you got to
Like
get
I
stabbed
said,
up a little,
Well, y'all saying the same thing then,
I
Vancat.
know, but he acting like I'm telling him to get beat up. He just has Negro morals. Y'all go watch an episode of Judge Judy with a black person on it, and I guarantee the black person gonna go, but that's not fair. Nuh-uh, he did this, and Judge Judy's gonna go, hey, I don't care. None of that makes any sense. Y'all Negroes really think how you feel trumps the law. They don't care about how you feel. They don't care about how you view things. If how you view things doesn't mesh with the law, you're going to jail.
no, but lump. Understand that there's actual people that when they say to stand your ground law, when they say they feel threatened, they then unload lethal force on people. This is literally the same thing, just with a knife. That's all I'm saying.
Vancat,
You can't threaten me. You can't
You're
threaten me
proving my
and then
point.
think
I
you're gonna
said
just be
stab
good.
him, stand your ground, stab him, then separate from them. And if they
If
come
I
at you
stand my
again,
ground, I gotta
stab
kill
them
6
again.
niggas. I gotta kill 6 people if
So
I stand
what?
my ground.
What's more important, killing 6 niggas or you living?
Oh man.
It
I'm
ain't
a
no
mass
in
murderer.
between with Vancat, man. It ain't no in between with him, bro.
Exactly. Vancat
It's
lives in a world of black and white.
It's either Get the Hell On or it's Terrified 2. Either one.
I'm just saying,
It's either one. It's a bloodbath.
It's
You're
got to
damn
be.
right.
It's got to be a massacre, or he's Odell Beckham.
Well, there you go.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the last subject. These disappearances. So we know ever since Trump got in the office, he's talking about deporting people. Have I seen any type of statistics of actual deportations? No, it ain't none. If anybody was wondering. And shout out to the resident MAGA maniac Kelly. There is no statistic. So let's take a look at some of these people. Well, first we're gonna watch a 60 minutes clip and see this notorious El Salvadorian prison that hell me and you might be going to after a while. I don't know yet. We'll see.
I got my Jamaican passport. Y'all better find me.
So let's take a look at that. What's going on down in El Salvador? Then we're gonna come back.
The administration has yet to release the identities of the Venezuelan men it sent to El Salvador last month. We obtained internal government documents listing their names and any known criminal information. We cross-referenced that with domestic and international court filings, news reports, and arrest records whenever we could find them. At least 22% of the men on the list have criminal records here in the United States or abroad. The vast majority are for nonviolent offenses like theft, shoplifting, and trespassing. About a dozen are accused of murder, rape, assault, and kidnapping. For 3% of those deported, it is unclear whether a criminal record exists. But we could not find criminal records for 75% of the Venezuelans, 179 men, now sitting in prison.
So
that's ridiculous.
Of almost the 300 people that's been deported, and this one guy in the front, it looked like somebody done knocked his ass in his head already.
Yep.
I don't know what's wrong with his head.
He got a dent.
He got a dent in his goddamn head.
Yep.
And look how they just shaved the head. They still got some dark patches in their head. They just don't give a damn.
They treat them like the Guantanamo Bay Arabs.
Yeah, Abu Ghraib.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell is going on. So in the report in 60 Minutes, they just showed you over 75% of these people that's down there have no criminal record whatsoever.
Oh boy.
They just chilling in El Salvador.
So now they made some new criminals. That's what they telling me. They made some new criminals.
You heard about the MMA coach from Australia?
No.
He came up here to do a seminar on MMA and fighting, and they looked at him and was like, he's too brown, and they just grabbed him and they sent him to that jail. He was there for like a week before they ended up. They deported him to the El Salvador, and then they had to. I think a judge passed something that he wasn't supposed to go, and they sent him anyway. And then by the time while he was in jail, he's roughing people up, he's beating people up because they didn't know he's a fighter, and he's about to, like, right when they were like planning on killing him, they yanked him back and was like, "Oh, we didn't know who you were. We saw your Instagram. We're sorry." Like this just happened like a day or two ago.
Yeah, I haven't heard that reporting because according to the Trump administration, they're not able to bring anybody back based on they don't have jurisdiction anymore, which is bullshit. And there was actually some breaking news prior to us coming on live that I'm gonna break that down too. So we see what's going on in El Salvador. It's hell on earth. They stacked on top of each other. Ain't no bed. I think it's 3 to a bunk. No mattress on the steel grating.
Probably
no blanket, no pillow. And you in a foreign nation that's essentially volatile as it pertains to the relationship between your own home nation. Let's keep that shit in mind. So yeah, you're right, Kelly. You're a MAGA maniac. I still love you, but you're a MAGA maniac. It is what it is. I ain't got no.
Hey, is that the girl that's dating the guy that I liked last time I was on your show?
No, it's a different person.
Okay, because she was hilarious.
So we see what's going on in El Salvador. It ain't too pretty down there. Now, next clip, we're gonna watch Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, our current Attorney General of the United States of America. She was getting tramped with different reporters asking her questions. Let's see what Pam Bondi had to say.
That 75% of the immigrants who were sent to El Salvador do not have public criminal records. Is that true?
Do you mean in our country?
The Venezuelan migrants who were sent to...
Okay, well, they're not Venezuelan migrants. They're illegal aliens from Venezuela who should not have been in our country, who are committing the most violent crimes. So if you committed a murder in our country, we're going to keep you here, and we're going to seek the death penalty, and we're going to keep you in prison because our victims' families deserve that. But we don't have to charge them with every crime. We can deport them and get them out of our country and save room in our prisons because they should have never been in our country to begin with.
So you confirm they didn't commit a crime, right? Is that what
She got the fuck on. Because she knew she was caught. She knew she was caught.
Yeah.
So basically, you just admitted that they ain't did shit. You just sent them to this prison for no fucking reason. So I got to go, guys. I'll see you later.
And she's forgetting the one covenant rule about Law 101. They have to be given due process. It doesn't matter if they're illegal or not. You have to do it. This is the problem that I have with this administration, and it's always been a problem where I feel like they're just blurting out crap like how she's blurting out just now. If they were in this country, ma'am, how do we have proof that they are illegal and they're in this country and they committed those crimes? Are you showing us these statistics that you claim that you guys are like pushing out in terms of narrative-wise? It doesn't make any sense. And none of it makes sense. And this is the whole thing where they're now barking at the judges, talk about, oh, you know, the judges are not supposed to. It's called checks and balances. There's no way that you could tell a judge who knows the jurisdiction and knows the law that they are wrong in terms of what they're telling you what to do. If they told you to bring back the people here, bring them back because they're allowed due process. That's always been the case. It should always be the case. You don't come in and then change the rules because you feel like that's not how it works. And they're gonna have to, and it's. I think there was this one guy from Maryland that they claim was an MS-13 gang member affiliate. Mind you, the guy's a permanent resident. You cannot. This is the same. If we're gonna do this, then what about the what was his name? MD Khashoggi, the guy that they killed somewhere in the Middle East with the whole Saudi Arabia thing. And notice how that got swept underneath the rug. He was also a permanent resident. I could have swore when you become a permanent resident in this country, you're just 1 second away from becoming a citizen. You do not, under any part of the rule of law, then state, no, we're going to kick you out. Mind you, you can, yes, if they committed a crime. But where is the evidence that these people committed a crime? That's what the judges are saying. Show us the evidence. Show us that they did something, and if they didn't, bring them back into the country so that they could. No, they don't want to do that because you're gonna have to save face, just like how she looked like a flipping blonde moron idiot on live TV, almost just about to admit that the people didn't commit no crimes, and that no, I'm just gonna walk away from the camera. No, man, stand in your truth and tell the people what the media what it is that your so-called president told you what to state. This is crazy. This should be like setting off alarm bells in people's minds. And I get it. It's a whole white supremacy thing and everybody's doing the rah-rah, Trump said. But remember, y'all, it's the whole balance of checks and balances. And yes, Twin will say, what are you talking about? But we have to go by that. That's the rule of law. It's always due process first. When did we start skipping all of this? This is nuts. This is beyond what in the go stop back in the Germany days are we do what are we doing here? What is this? This is nuts.
Well, what they doing is the Alien Enemies Act, and that's what you got to keep in mind. All of this is being based on this old ass law saying that we under attack, and all these foreign nationals of this country that we under attack by gotta go. We're not under attack. Everybody knows we ain't under attack, but we gonna use that particular law.
Yep.
In order to spin it and justify what we're doing. As time we used the alien. I believe it was during World War II.
Yep.
After Pearl Harbor.
Correct.
I believe we rounded up all the West Coast chinks, Japanese chinks.
Japanese, yeah, the Japanese.
and put them in internment camps.
And they had to pay reparations.
And told them, oh, you're going too fast, Carter. You're going too fast. We put all these Japanese people in internment camps.
Yes, we did.
Told them, hey, look, you got to stay here till the war's won. Pretty much, you can't go nowhere. On down the line in the 80s, we paid them people reparations, just like you said. This time around, it's even fucking worse. We're sending their ass to a foreign country and giving them buzz cuts and beating their ass. It's even worse.
And not giving them due process, by the way. We have to put that in
not giving them due process whatsoever.
Crazy.
Under the Alien Enemies Act. I'm not saying it's not. It's law. I'm saying the way the Alien Enemies Act is being used is even worse than it was used in World War II.
It absolutely
worse.
Is.
Them folks got paid. What you think finna get ready to happen to Chico? He finna get paid. He gonna get his ass beat prior to getting paid, but he gonna get paid. And you got niggas, and now this is where I'm finna rant. You got niggas on social media celebrating this shit. Niggas that talk about reparations.
That's crazy.
Illegals out of our country because we want the sweeping job. Nigga, those sweeping crazy. Jobs are for niggas. we don't want the Beaners to have a sweeping job. That's our job. And then turn around and talk about reparations.
That sounds like Black MAGA.
And these same people is about to get reparations before your black ass.
Yes, they will. Yes,
get ahead of the table.
As soon as the Democrats get into power, it's over with.
Yep, midterms is 2020.
It's over with. I can guarantee. Michael Vancat, y'all got anything on this before I move to the next video?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so let's check out, and again, here's another just damnable video. Damnable. Let's check out this video right here.
Here at CCOT today and visiting this facility. And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists here and to incarcerate them and have consequences for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
Wow.
Go ahead, Vancat. Go ahead.
Well, she's just trying to intimidate people.
Yes, she is.
And make it sound like they're actually doing things. This administration is super incompetent, and I don't trust or believe in anything that they say. That's all I gotta say about that. Every time I see it, she pops up on my damn YouTube all the goddamn time with those sponsored videos. I can't hit skip quick enough.
But what kills me though is that
that's why you got to get YouTube Premium. YouTube Premium.
She want to stand in front of those men, mind you, and wear a Rolex watch. Like girl, what you doing? You trying to make yourself look like an ordinary damn citizen. And perpetuating this whole imagery, but you wearing a Rolex watch though in front of really, this is I don't know, the optics for me just doesn't blend, but it doesn't surprise me. What are you doing? What, ma'am, you're in a different country talking about isn't she physically on foot in El Salvador in the prison talking about, oh, if you commit crimes and again, show us the evidence that these people did commit these crimes. It's one thing to then do the whole imagery and do the whole media circus and what. Show us the image that, the imagery, show us the stats. Let me see proof that they actually did something, because what this is beginning to sound like to me is them going over just to round up any and everybody and just send them off to a foreign country, because again, we want to make it look like we went on the campaign trail. We said we're going to get rid of the illegals and all the murders and rapists and all that. But where is the evidence? This is where I want the American people to be like, yo, show us proof. If Mike said he did something and you have proof of it, it's one thing. But if he didn't do anything, where is the proof of it? Because you're just going to round up people, just send them off. This is beginning to sound like Germany in World War II. What are you doing? This is crazy. But I digress, because this is what y'all voted for, right? You having remorse yet? It's gonna get worse. Hell in the handbasket. Where's the video, Venkat? When you need it, damn it.
Yeah, I ain't got it. Venkat ain't sent it to me yet. So again, this whole El Salvador situation is janky at best. We know this. Now let's get into it. This is from the Guardian. He's not a gang member. Outrages. U.S. deports makeup artist to El Salvador prison for crown tattoo. Andre Jose Hernandez Romero. Now y'all tell me. Now this person look like one of the worst of the worst.
Oh
I mean,
God.
if I'm walking down the street, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
To
I
the
just
other
don't know.
side. You got instantly move to the other side out of fear.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get shanked or shot. I don't know. you know that's just what it is. I mean, y'all gonna have to tell me. Is this how Trump said? Trey der Wagra. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
this is an obvious image of a notorious thug.
But don't they say never judge a cover by the
so this is Andre. It says for as long as anyone can remember, Andre Jose Hernandez Romero was enthralled by the annual. Now these are the tattoos that got him into El Salvador. These are the tattoos right here.
Let's see them.
And another crowd say dad. And that got him to El Salvador.
Crazy. Those tattoos, really? I'm thinking it's like a big old mural on the back of it.
This picture right here. This picture right here may have got him. This one.
Wow.
That picture right there may have got him right there.
Wow. This is crazy.
Or if you want to look at tattoos, look at Pete Hegseth tattoos. He got all kinds of white supremacist tattoos all over his body.
Well, they done. That's not designated as a domestic terrorist organization no more. So that don't matter.
What?
Like literally,
number one terrorist organization in the world.
Well, you got to stay up on what's going on, Venkat. They have came out and said that division in DOJ is no longer there. So there's no more such thing as domestic terrorists. It's not. So there's that. So yeah, this is Andre. I'm talking about sweeter than a bag of Skittles.
Wow.
And he up out of here. Now here's the part where they're not telling you. He was also, when he was in Venezuela, he was also active in the opposition to Maduro. Maduro is an authoritarian.
You never see smoke without fire.
So they're not telling you that actually a large portion of these people that are from Venezuela going to El Salvador was against Maduro.
They're the resistance. Got you.
That's why they're here.
Coincidence? That's why they're here, Venkat. Exactly. Because they was fleeing persecution in their own fucking country.
And not the Cuban way where we're going back vacationing and crap like that in Cuba. They're really fleeing oppression.
Yep.
We're not hanging out, chilling, and coming back and forth to the United States and Cuba. Just want to call that one out.
So I find it very, very like I said, I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. But I think it's very finicky that these people that being deported to El Salvador so happen to be the opposition to Maduro. Did Maduro make that call to Trump, say, hey, make these motherfuckers suffer? Make them suffer.
There you go. There you go.
I'm just saying. Just a thought. Just a thought.
Man, United States is the villain.
Hey, unfortunately, right now that may be the case. So yeah, that's Andre, Queen Andre. So that's one of your notorious gang members, right? So we're gonna leave El Salvador. Now we're gonna go to the Middle East. Let's play another quick video. This will be the last one. Then I'll go to an article. Then we'll get up out of here.
Yeah, you don't look like it. Why are you hiding your faces? Why are you hiding your faces? I see some faces here. How do I know this is the police? It's like, hey, you're the police like me. Is that been going on here?
Now, y'all let me know how y'all would react. I'm just chilling, walking down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Some white boys in plain clothes and damn shiesties
Yep.
walk up on me and just restrain me. What the fuck you doing? You probably gonna get shot.
Yep.
I have to eat that charge.
Yep.
Notice she didn't calm down until the dude that was actually in uniform walked up.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know what the fuck was going on.
We don't know who that is. If I was walking, I wouldn't know who that is either. Like, what in the espionage, movie scene, criteria is going on here? This is crazy. This is what we're doing now.
They got all these killers out here, and they're arresting. This is where they focus their resources, time, and energy on.
So
Like, it's ridiculous. You got all these notorious criminals out here killing people, and that's the type of arrest we're doing.
And let me guess, she's a protester, right? She's probably in some university or something.
Yeah. Her last name was Ozturk.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Turkish national.
Yep.
And this was in Boston. I believe it was Massachusetts, close to Harvard. Tufts University is the university she went to, and she was involved in some anti-Israel protests.
And
she was just. I think they were saying that she had just broke Ramadan, was about to go get something to eat, and they just pulled up on her. She didn't know what the hell was going on.
And again, when did it become a crime for you to say you're in opposition of what the Israeli government is
November 6th is when it became a crime.
That is crazy, and this is I've said this from the onset of TFP up until now, like the inception of the show. If I can't call out your BS, because just like the other day when I'm not sure if you guys heard about like a public last week, I believe 14 United Nations humanitarian aid workers were killed by the Israeli government because, according to them, they said, "Oh, when they got called out on it, oh, we thought they were Hamas sympathizers." Sir, it clearly says United Nations humanitarian aid workers on the vehicles. So what is it that you misinterpret about that? If the UN can't call out Israel on their bullshit, something is clearly wrong. What is the point of having the United Nations? So if I'm in opposition of what Van Ken and MD is saying, that's grounds for me to be anti-something. That doesn't make sense. This is beyond crazy now. And at some point in time, they have to hold themselves accountable, or everybody's going to slowly start flipping. And you're beginning to see other countries start calling out the narrative on it. Like, if we can't call you out on what you're doing, something is wrong here, because you're manipulating either the media, you're manipulating social media, whoever you want to manipulate. But what you're not going to do is when people call you out and say you're doing something wrong, you're going to say, oh, you're anti this or you're anti. No, We're not going to do that. Wrong is wrong, and we're going to say it when it is, and what you're doing is wrong. This girl is a protester, and this is what you're doing. You didn't think that she was some violent person that's about to do the worst of the worst to the United States of America. She's a protester. That's all she is. Literally, like how MD said, just about to finish. You probably fasted the whole day and it's about to go get something to eat. And you do this and not even showing your face, like the person in the video was saying. If you're not someone of malicious deeds, why are you covering your face? Show your face because you have nothing to hide.
Soapbox Live is brought to you by Kraft Caesar with liquid bacon.
Oh damn!
You doing product placement? That's how we're paying the bills.
Oh shit! Hell, they need to pay me now.
MD getting MD rose up to the big leagues.
Damn, they need to pay me now, bro. They need to pay me now. God damn. Let me get that off.
Available at Wallet World.
Yeah, so you got anything on there, Venkat? I'm gonna go to the rest of the people that's been detained.
No, you go ahead.
So this is an article from CNN. We're just gonna go through the list of the people that been detained because of these Palestinian protests. Of course, we know Mahmoud Khalil. He jumped it off. He was one of the first ones to get detained and shipped off, disappeared from Columbia University to Louisiana. Don't nobody know where the hell he at. No, at the time, nobody knew. He jumped it off. You know, we know that. Some of these more people that are lesser known, Badar Khan Suri, he was another one that got disappeared. That's Ozturk. That's the lady that was in the video. You know what I'm saying? It says she's a Turkish national, was on her way to break Ramadan fast in late March when she was arrested and physically restrained by 6 plainclothes officers. Like, bro, if you walk up on me like that, bro, you're getting shot. I don't know you, the cops. And you just try to grab, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You're getting shot. That's just what it is. Here's another one. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce that. I don't know how you say it. Right? Now it's one that I wanna get y'all thoughts on. So it was a lady named Rashad Alloway, an assistant professor with a valid U.S. visa at Brown Medical School, was deported from Boston to Lebanon. Now check this out. After federal agents discovered she attended former Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah's funeral. Nasrallah was the head of Hezbollah. And remember, Israel bombed the shit out of him and killed him.
Yep.
She went to his funeral. We're going to stay on this one for a minute. Do y'all think it was justified for her to be deported?
No.
Did she commit a crime?
No.
Technically, no. She didn't commit a crime.
But that's the point. That's what we're trying to none of this makes sense. So
this is the United States. You can't be forcing things on people like that. If she wants to look at it, she looks at it.
Right.
There are people in this country. There are people in this country celebrating Hitler right now. They're not in jail.
You're right. Swastikas and all. You're right.
This is crazy.
You are absolutely right. So it's a thin line. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Do I celebrate her going to a damn foreign nation that's said things about America that I don't. Do she have a right to do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. She can do whatever the hell she want to do. As long as she don't act upon any intentions that she may have. She got every right to do it. That's just a fact. So, you know, I know some people had mixed feelings about that particular situation.
If you for freedom, you got mixed feelings. You ain't about freedom. It's about
you 100% right, Venkat. 100%. Damn, what happened? Y'all still there?
Yeah,
I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought I froze or something.
Oh, that was a Simpsons moment.
I got Mamadou Tall, a dual citizen of UK and Gambia. Got him up out of here. I mean, a slew of other people. I remember this when the Yansu Chung one, a Colombia guy. They got him up out of here. It was. I think it was an Indian national. She self-deported. No, she wasn't. I think she was Indian Canadian, and she self-deported back to Canada. She said, "Damn that, I'm out of here." You know what I mean? So,
well, that was a
again,
good
man.
choice.
So the greater question that I have now is it that the universities and colleges have signed on to be like a surveillance kind of location where you can't protest at the university? Because remember we had an onslaught of like protests. I believe it was last year, sometime in the fall, or prior to that, the summertime. So is it that now they're all complicit with the Trump administration where you can't protest, and if you do, you're at risk of being like, be detained?
Well, he already told you if the protests continued, he was going to take away the funding for the school. He already said that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm assuming some people snitched on a lot of these students and got them up out of there.
Yep, wouldn't be surprising.
But again, all of this, like if we look at the Alien Enemies Act for the El Salvadorians, this is a State Department issue. That's why they're showing Marco Rubio on the screen.
So when Marco Rubio will get deported?
That's spineless.
It's so oxymoronic at the end of the day.
Beyond oxymoronic.
So you're right about that. But ultimately, it is a fact. Marco Rubio, as state secretary, has the ultimate say on acceptance of visas, like he do. That's part of his job. Is he taking advantage of certain parameters? Hell yeah. And like I said, at the end of the day, I'm telling you, man, it's house of cards, bro. A lot of these people are going. You thought it was bad after J6. Wait till I'm telling you, man, when the Democrats get back in the office, this shit is going. Man, it's going to be night court.
And I think they know because they send out. There's a lot of infighting going on now. Not to go off topic, but there's a lot of infighting going on right now in the Trump administration, which a lot of people are not aware of. Elon against what's his name, and then there's a whole bunch of people. Because remember, Trump might want to be talking about going for a third term, but some of these people have to be reelected again, and you're beginning to see the signs of these town hall people getting. We didn't sign up for none of this shit. We told y'all what we want. We could have swore, Trump said he was gonna fix because he said he was a businessman. But we didn't sign up for this. And so they're giving the warning signs like, listen, we're almost at midterms. If you guys continue with this crap, because it doesn't even look like the tariffs thing is going to work out, we will vote y'all asses out. And they're dead ass serious. And I think the Republican Party is now going, wait a minute now. Y'all might be secure at the top, but what about us at the bottom? Because when we have to face these people's wrath, we don't know what's going to happen. And they're literally saying the Democrats now have a chance, if they get their act together, could literally come back in. And this is where Elon Musk was saying last week, like, if that happens, also Steve Bannon said the same thing. Don't be surprised if they come after us and start putting people in jail. And that's exactly what MD is saying. Don't be shocked, because that's literally what's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. And go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say this real quick. There's this thing about the Democrats right now. Everybody's acting like the Democrats are like in this so bad place, this so bad space. If you rewind back a year ago around this time, the Republicans were in the worst place. They had multiple House speakers. They couldn't get anything going. They had all that infighting with the Republicans. They were in complete disarray and turmoil at this point last year. The Democrats just lost an election. Whoop-de-doo. Somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to win. They happen to lose. But I don't think that the Democratic side of things, they're so in peril and whatnot, especially when you got a dumbass like Trump that's just giving himself self-inflicted wounds. I think the Democrats are going to do what they have to do in the midterms, because United States voters are so goddamn stupid. They just say, okay, you make me mad right now, so I'm going to jump to the other side. And they play this game of chairs where they keep switching seats and they think that's going to solve something. It doesn't. You got to hold these bastards accountable every time. So they're not doing that.
Right.
But
Yeah,
just
I
want to
agree
say
with that. I don't look a lot into like they're saying, oh, it's 27% approval rating of Democrats, and it's more or less that people don't identify the leadership in the Democratic Party. That's what I feel. I don't think when the average person in America looks at the Democrats right now, they don't see anybody that's holding the line.
Well, they shouldn't right now because it's not election time yet. So they don't have a clear leader right now.
Yeah, I mean,
because we're transitioning from old Joe Biden to now we're looking for the next generation of leaders. That hasn't been formulated. There hasn't been an election. There hasn't been any kind of mandate on who should be where. It hasn't happened yet. The election just was 6 months ago, and Trump is destroying everything. So
you telling me,
soon,
Vancat, you telling me there shouldn't be, we shouldn't have a perspective on who's leading the party right now, even though they're not in power?
No, because
wow.
No, I don't think like the way things happen where everything was in Kamala, they just threw it on Kamala in 3 months and she lost. So now it's like this time to rebuild. This is exactly where they should be at. I don't think there's clear-cut leaders. Like I don't think that what's the name? That guy from California, Newsom. I don't think he's clear-cut like in the bag. He's gonna get it. I don't even really think it's clear-cut that the guy that ran for the VP,
Tim Walz.
Walz. I don't think he's clear-cut. That's exactly how it should be at this particular time.
Well, what you're talking about is a front runner, though. What I'm talking about is a leader. Technically, right now,
Hakeem Jeffries would be that leader.
Well, it'd be Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer is over Hakeem. But technically, I'm saying technically speaking, he's the leader of the Democrats. Technically. Then it's Hakeem. And then it's the head of the DMC. So, if we're going to be technical about it, but what I'm talking about is, in our perspective, who is the face of the Democrats? There should always be a face, despite whether you in power or not. You know what I'm saying? You never had that situation with the Republicans. You always knew there was a face.
Okay, so
whether
with
it
the
was
Republicans, remember when Mitt Romney, when Mitt Romney was eventually the nominee, before he was the nominee, there was no definitive person. They reluctantly defaulted to Mitt Romney. He was not their choice because at that point now, that was Mitt Romney's second, third time running. They were not enthused with Mitt Romney being the nominee, but that's all they had. So yeah, this is not the first time, it's not the last time, but this is exactly how it should be. Now, people can make their bids in these times, like AOC. Bernie Sanders already had a few runs, so it's kind of hard, but Bernie Sanders is doing what he's doing. But this is exactly what it should be. It's too early to say this is the face of anything. Right now, they're trying to find their new talking points, their new strategies, and their new identity going forward. Because the old head, Joe Biden, and soon to be Chuck Schumer, because his bitch ass need to get up out of here. Once they finish all that baggage, then they could say, okay, this is where we're going with it. But they can't do that because they still have some baggage left.
Okay. I don't disagree with it. I'm saying I don't tie in, like when I say face, I'm not talking about like a front runner type person. I'm talking about the leader who's facilitating political strategy in Congress. That's what I mean by a leader.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I think Hakeem Jeffries should jump right over Schumer. I think Schumer needs to go. Hakeem Jeffries is younger. I think Hakeem Jeffries will do a better job overall, and they need to get to that point where they're forcing that, just like they forced all that stuff on Joe Biden at that point when they started bailing on him. I think there needs to be a reckoning there. They haven't positioned that to happen yet, but it needs to happen.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so last thing, going back, so this broke like an hour before we went live. So the Supreme Court got involved with the situation of this young man. Supreme Court says Trump official must facilitate release of wrongly deported man. This just broke an hour before we went on. The Supreme Court said Thursday that the Trump administration must facilitate the release of a man the government admitted it wrongly deported to El Salvador, sending the case back to the judge who ordered his return for further clarification of her order and leaving the ultimate fate of the case number. If we remember, let me see what the guy's name is. Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The Trump administration admitted that through some type of clerical error, he got deported to El Salvador to the prison, and it was wrong. But they said they couldn't do anything about it because it's out their jurisdiction now. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
So MD,
go ahead.
So MD, it's not just good enough that they got to do that. They got to get some money because this guy's life done got altered in all kinds of ways, mentally and physically, probably.
So I asked the question then, Vancat. The title of the show is "The Truth About the Trump Disappearance," and in parentheses, reparations ? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
this man will be receiving reparations.
He damn sure should.
And I use that term. I use that term loosely. It's not reparations, but it'll be compensation. I'm trolling with the reparations term, but it'll definitely be compensation.
Yeah, it has to be in the millions.
Absolutely.
Has to be in the millions. It can't be, oh, here's 100,000. Goodbye. It's got to be in the millions. That's a hell of a thing. You take a person's life and just fundamentally, just drastically change this nigga life. That's ridiculous, man.
Right.
Anyone remember, if we're in that situation, we're used to going to work, being with our families, doing our thing, and out of nowhere, some guy, ICE or whoever the hell, come up to you and they just turn your life upside down. You didn't do nothing wrong. Now you're in a prison. Now you're getting beat up. Now you're getting all this other stuff. And then they say, okay, oh, my bad, and they just release you and you're on your way. Hell no. They better give me 400 million.
Right. So on Monday, well, remember last week, I believe it was Friday, a judge ordered that he needed to be back in the States by, I believe they said 12 o'clock Sunday. And if he didn't, he was going to put the Trump administration in contempt of court.
Oh, that's good. They actually have a mandated time. That's great. That's great.
Well, that was before. Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court on Mondays gave a stay of that order. Now, the Trump administration took that as a win. They was like, yeah, see, the Supreme Court say we ain't got to do nothing.
You mean that corrupted Supreme Court that's contaminated?
Well, it can't be too corrupted in this particular matter because they voted 9-0.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good.
Unanimous.
It's the most illegitimate court, but whatever.
On Monday, Chief Justice Roberts gave a stay of that original order. The Trump administration took that as a win, thinking that the Supreme Court was on their side. In reality, Roberts was saying, hey, look, we need time to look at the case ourselves. And lo and behold, today, they ruled unanimously, 9-0, that he got to be returned. Now, not only that, this sets a precedent now.
Yeah.
This sets a precedent that all these other people that have been wrongly sent to this goddamn prison need to be returned.
Which is a lot of them.
It's the vast majority of them, if you ask me, according to the 60 Minutes report.
Exactly. And there go the incompetence thing with Donald Trump. Everything is so sloppy. The handling of the economy, the tariff announcements, and everything is just overly done. The immigration and having big spectacles of people being arrested and deported and all this, making a big scene, having cameras record all this. It's all big time shows and it's all done very sloppy. The Doge thing in cutting the government, quote unquote, waste. and then you look into that wall that they have, and more than half of it is illegitimate. How you gonna say you stopping waste because a contract that's scheduled to end next week, you're taking credit for ending that? It had nothing to do with you. It was ending already, and they put that as however millions that's supposed to be. They count that towards it. So everything is illegitimate. Everything is wrong. Everything is just sloppy. And here he goes, just falling all over himself. And what is it doing ultimately? It's creating lawsuits, which they're supposed to be government efficiency. And how is that efficient when the government has to cough up millions of dollars case by case by case by case? So not only did we go through the bad experiences of the Trump administration, but also the big thing they're talking about, government efficiency. They are the most inefficient at it, and they're costing the government more money than they're actually saving. So I don't know what we're doing all this for.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. So we'll see what's gonna happen. Will the Trump administration bring it back? Hell, the first judge that said it, they basically said, "Fuck that judge. We're not doing nothing." So let's see if they do that to the Supreme Court.
Wow.
We'll see. We'll see. Tomorrow we'll probably have an answer by then. So, hey, that's tonight's show, folks. Yeah, man. It's too much stuff to handle, man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Too much stuff to handle. Too much stuff. Hey, we'll have a slew of other shit next week. So it is what it is, man. Yeah. You got anything else, Van Cat?
No, that was it. Great show. Awesome show. Smooth show. My God. Smooth.
Yeah, I try to be as smooth as possible.
That efficient MD. we got the real Doge here, man. My God.
Yeah. Doge came through, man, and cut a lot of my funding. So you know, I ain't got no choice but to do it myself.
No, but that's a great show, man. Well run.
Yeah. So yeah, again, like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it up. God willing, we'll have another show next week about some more crazy shit Trump done did. So with Trump, man, you got plenty of content, that's for sure. you got plenty of content. So just stick around. And like I said, eventually, when I get everything right, we'll be transitioning this to the spiritual successor of TFP.
What about that Navarro issue with how Trump came to be with the tariff concept that he got? Oh my God! When I saw,
hey, again, if there was a lame duck, that would be our lame duck.
Oh my goodness!
Peter Navarro, Ron Vara.
Yes.
Like you just make up some shit.
Wow.
And then put it in a book.
Exactly. He gonna tell that guy to go find me somebody somewhere that has the goals and views that I have about this. And then Jared goes on Amazon and likes the cover of the book, and that's the extent of finding somebody
like
in the administration.
Jared Kushner is a fucking billionaire. You ain't got no Amazon account.
Wow.
You ain't got no Kindle, no shit. You could just maybe skim through the book. You just said, "Buff it, I'm gonna just look at the code. This a cool cover."
Wow.
That lets you know the reality that we in right now when it comes to the Trump administration. And on a second note, speaking about Jared Kushner, where the fuck is Jared Kushner at?
Yeah, it's not much peep. I think he's following his wife. They don't want to be a part of all this.
That's great. Yeah, they saw the writing on the wall in the first term.
Oh my God!
They said bump that.
Yeah.
Him and Ivanka, like you don't see them at all.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But on any note, hey, that it is what it is, man. Like I said, the weekend, it's a lot of stuff going. This weekend, something important is going on. The Iran negotiations are supposed to be this weekend. I think that's a crock of shit. I don't think anything gonna come from that. And eventually we may be looking down the barrel of some type of conflict with Iran. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, 145% tariff. Just get ready.
Wow.
Get ready.
That guy is so petty and childish. The only other thing I want to say here is that WrestleMania looking like trash right now. My God, it's
Hey, wait,
embarrassing,
are we
man.
we doing a preview show, right? Or are we just doing the
I
review?
think
Which one are we doing?
it's a preview and a review, I believe, that we're doing.
So the preview should be next Wednesday, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, my God, I've never seen so many matches go down the drain so hard. Oh my
I don't
God!
know. It's a couple of good ones, man. It's a couple of good ones.
That Tiffany match with Charlotte Flair. Oh my God! Ain't no, first of all, nobody wanted that match. Nobody cared for that match, and now these promos that they have is just really not helping. Oh man, we don't know what the real main event is because for some reason a triple threat match that really nobody was looking forward to either, that became the main event over the actual main event of a world title. The guy won the Royal Rumble. Jay won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, come
sad,
on, man.
Like, yeah, that's sad. Like, how can you
Like, there's
not
so
have
many
him
issues. Yeah.
main event night one? That's crazy.
Like, there's not, and even with Cody and John Cena, like the first couple interactions were just like it's mind-bogglingly crazy. The third one was really good. I mean, John Cena really went on his ass. Cody came back a little bit, but damn, I don't know. They're just like shooting themselves in the foot. I'm not excited for this at all. This looked like it's going to be a dumpster fire, and I hope I'm wrong. Because I don't want to see stuff that's stupid. I want to see something memorable. But I don't think it's going to be like the last two WrestleManias where there was some really good things on there. We have to see what else is on the card. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, yeah, shout out to Straight Talk Society. We'll be over there next Wednesday to preview that. But other than that, yeah, that's all I got, man. It's 11 o'clock. I got to go to sleep. So,
yep.
All right, man. With that being said, shout out to Ricardo, shout out to Mike for coming through tonight. And as always, Van Cat, man, like we're gonna keep it running. So with that being said, man, I guess I'll play this promo again. With that, I'll say peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
Wah, wah, wah.